Varēs tā arī pateikt.
Jā.
Esiet sveicināti, dārgie Ūdenszeļļi skatītāji, 9. sezonas 11. epizode, un esam atgriezušies pēc 2,5 nedēļu pauzītes. Mans vārds joprojām ir Kristians Dilans, un ar man kopā arī ierastie Ūdenszeļļi Kobe un Šaks, kā es viņus saucu šajā sezonā, Edgars Buļs un Artūrs Šēnhofs.
Kristian, tavs vārds plāno mainīties kādreiz arī?
Vismaz pagaidām nē, bet ir Latvijas vispār šoubiznesā vairāk cilvēku tomēr, kas ir nomainījuši vārdus karjeras gaitā, tā kā nevar izslēgt.
Varbūt bija topiks vienā savēsīgā vakarā par to, ka J.D. Vents esot jau 3 reizes nomainījis vārdu.
Kurš
mainīšot vēl? Amerikas viceprezidents. Tā ir kādu laiku Edgars, tad Pēters, tad Uldis.
Kristian, tur varētu būt kāds tur Kristiānu Rūls mirus vai kaut kas tam.
Jā, es tajā virzienā, jā. Bet man arī iniciāļi tādi pateicīgi basketbolam.
Jā. Viņš sauc par Keidiju sevi.
Labi, netika.
Keidijs.
Plēdā netika tavu iniciāļu šogad. Ļoti labi.
Bet jā, pagaidām mēs esam 3. Un arī pirmo raidījumu daļu paliksim 3, bet pēc tam mums pieslēgsies Igaunijas lielākā basketbola raidījuma ngumehed vadītājs Sīms Raudla. Arī pāriesim uz angļu valodu. Pieļauju, ka pirmo reizi Ūdenszeļļu vēsturē būs crossovers ar kādu citu lielu raidījumu, citu valsts lielu raidījumu. Noteikti. Jā, bet, protams, par visu pēc kārtas, Edgar, Artur.
Varētu teikt tā, ka tad ar Igaunijas lielāko basketbola raidījumu tas bija tā kā mājiens, kad Ūdenszeļļi ir lielākais Latvijas basketbola raidījums.
Tā vismaz pēc skatījumiem, manuprāt.
Piekrītam.
Jā,
kopējās popularitātes. 9. sezona arī pēc ilgtspējas tomēr. Nākamā būs 10. sezona. Kā jau saku, cik daudz raidījumu Latvijas sporta vēsturē ir izdzīvojuši 10 gadus.
Valters esot.
Par to, bet Valtera overtimes, man liekas, nenovilka 10 gadus. Man liekas, palika pie 9. Tā kā man tā šķiet.
Vismaz viens jānovalka.
Jānovalka, tik kaut vai dēļ viņa pārsis. Protams, sporta studija ir no 97. gada, cik es zinu, un droši vien, ka nebeigs tik drīz vēl Latvijas nacionālajā televīzijā. Gan jau atradīsies viņiem vieta vēl kādu laiku, bet mēs esam nākamie, iespējams.
Bet, kungi, pagājušajā, arī vispār īstenībā, kāpēc mums būs crossovers ar Igaunijas lielāko basketbola raidījumu, ir noslēgusies Latvijas-Igaunijas līgas sezona, un par to arī varbūt pašā ievadā pavisam īsi, jo pēc tam to iztirdzēsim garāk. Edgar, Artūr, nezinu, kurš no jums vēlas sākt, bet kāda ir pēcgarša pēc šīs sezonas un pēc šādas finālspēles?
Var tāda viena baigi īsā. Neizmantojām izcilo spēju. Tikai no mūsu viedokļa. Tas ir man pirmā pēcgarša un spēcīgākā šobrīd. Tur droši vien ir daudz analītisks, gan jau, ka mēs to pēc tam ar Sīmu apspriedīsim, bet tādā īsumā mums dāvāja, mēs nepaņēmām opciju izcīnīt titulu.
Piekritīšu Artūram, ir zinām vilšanās sajūta un skaidrs, ka, kā lai to saka, vai VFL joprojām ir bagātākā un talantīgākā Latvijas komanda? Jā, ir. Bet vai mums bija visas iespējas šo spēli paņemt, un vai mums ir visas pozīcijas? Arī, jā, bija. Un droši vien, jā, pirmkārt, iespēja galotnē, bet mēs kopumā nespēlējam labi. Es teikšu, ka tas, ka mums tur bija iespējas, es no tā viedokļa, mēs jau mazliet izvilkām pret Tartu, jā, pēdējā minūtē, vai cik mēs tur atstām tos 9.
Tā skatoties par mums 2 izvilkām?
Izvilkām pret Kaleu, cik te brīnumi, pat pusbrīnumi notiks. Mums kaut kur ir jāspēlē labāk, stabilāk, lai mēs, kā es vairāk privātās sarunās, es teicu, lai ejot pēdējās 2 minūtēs, mums ir +9, vai pēdējās 3 nevis -9. Baigi grūti izstrēpt to izlieto ūdeni, un bija iespējas. Bet es tā skatoties, ja mums 8 spēlētāji bija rotācijā, mazliet spēlē arī Rolands Freimans, kas varbūt ar kaut kādu neizmantotā iespēju, bet no tiem 8 spēlētājiem es tā pāanalizēju, 3 nospēlēja varbūt savā līmenī, vai varbūt dažs labs arī augstāk par savu, tā kā šo sezonu vidēji rādīja to līmeni, piemēram, Uģis Pinete, kapteinis, kurš tiešām spēlēja.
Jā.
Krišs ar Robi, es teiktu, Robertu Fordu nospēlēja kaut kur savu līmenī. Krišs var vēl labāk.
Es teiktu, ka Fords varēja labāk. Pirmā puslaikā.
Varbūt, bet tomēr kopumā viņš tur pavilka un bija lietas. Viņš var... Atkarībā, kā mēs pieejam, bet viņš maz nospēlēja vidējā līmenī.
Finālā
vajag nospēlēt virs.
Mēs nospēlējām, saturiski švaki. Vēfs arī nebija baigi labi.
Bet, lai mēs uzvarētu VF, mums ir jāspēlē virs savu vidējā līmeņa droši vien un 5 no 8 spēlētājiem jānospēlē labāk nekā viņi spēlē ikdienā. Varbūt, teiksim tā, 3 jānospēlē savā līmenī, 2, 3 labāk, un varbūt kāds var atļauties nospēlēt zem savu līmeņu. Es teiktu, ka mums kādi 4, 5 nospēlē tomēr zem sev ierastā līmeņa, un tie spēlētāji to pašu zina. Tā kā tādas tās līdzīgi kā Artūram, mazliet mīlas palikušas, bet, kā jau es šodien pateicu, mūsu visās komunās, jā, esam izsāpējuši, esam izraudājuši, virtuāli izraudājuši. Pārnestā nozīmē izsāpējuši kopā. Mums bija tāds saviesīgs pasākums kopā ar spēlētājiem, ar sponsoriem, ar komunu. Tā kā, jau viss jau 2 dienas pagājuši, ko tur pinkšķēt, jā, tālāk. Tā kā mums pretī nākamajiem mērķiem, vispirms jau sagatavoties šīs zonas Latvijas basketbola līgas izšķirošajām spēlēm, un jau faktiski jāsāk domāt par nākošo gadu. Tas nozīmē, jāsāk vākt naudu, komplektēt sastāvs, tā kā darbiņš jau neapstājās. Un ja kāds domā, ka mēs tagad esam nolaiduši rokas kaut kādā lielā bildēnē, tad tā nav. Tā kā kaujiniecisks noskaņojums uz Rīgas Zeļļu komandu tiltiņa.
Bet labi, paldies par īso ieskatu un jūsu pārdomām tādām īsajām. Pie tām vēl atgriezīsimies, vēl iztirzāsim fināla spēli, bet tagad jāvirzās uz priekšu. Un skatītāji jautājums. Šīs nedēļas balvā joprojām 20 eiro no Sportlanda. Kāpēc Kristaps Porziņš nespēlēja otrajā puslaikā pret Charlottes Hornets? Redzējāt, tur bija tāda interesanta situācija, kur Kristaps devās uz ģērbtuvēm, tur arī palika un nebija otrajā puslaikā kopā ar komandu. Varbūt jums ir uzreiz padomā kāda
jautra reālā, ne jautrā versija.
Ja Bostonai bija tā spēlē izbraukumā?
Man liekas, ka mājās.
Apskaties, lūdzu.
Līdz pārbaudīsim.
Kurā gadījumā labi, jautrā versija. Ja karsē meitenes Bostonā ir tikpat labs kā Zeļļiem, tad varbūt kaut kāda izklaides programma bija aizkulisēs. Otrajā puslaikā interesantāk nekā laukumā doties pret Charlottes Hornets viscieņu sirseņiem.
Jā, mājas spēle.
Tā tad īpaši šovu programma.
Bet ja pa īstam tas nav nekāda tur tā...
Nē, arī Mazula pēc tam preses konferencē pateica, ka viss ir kārtībā un... Iespējams, tas mans minējums bija tāds, ka...
Nemocam Kristapu pret Kentauriem. Mums jāgatavojās nopietnām komandām.
Tā spēle tieši neko ne.
Jā, mums vajadzīgs nopietni pretinieki, līdz nāks pretī play-off būs.
Charlottē vajadzēja zaudēt, lai drošāk tur loterijas piks.
Jā, viss kārtībā. Viņi tāpat tavā grozā metīs, tā kā viss kārtībā man nebija vajadzīgs.
Tā kā gaidam arī jūsu atbildes skatītāji, ceram, ka varēsiet iedot kaut ko vēl jāstrāku un jautrāku, bet turpinam arī doties uz priekšu. Finance 2 nedēļas MVP. Mums šoreiz ir 4 kandidāti. Rodions Kuruts 14 punkti, 9 bumbas un Mursī pārspēja Valenciju. Atstāja Valenciju tikai uz 71 punktu. Komanda ar šajā sezonā labāko uzbrukumu Eiropas basketbolā.
Reitingā.
Jā, nedaudz papētīju. 3-4 reizes sezonā viņi ir palikuši zem ap 70. Tā kā Mursī...
Rodas tur aizsardzībā atkal.
Kā parasti, jā. Viena bumba līdz double-double. Ojāram Siliņam 16+6. Varšavas Legija apspēlē Polijas čempionāta līderi. Dāvim Bērtānam 16 punkti. Dubai apspēlē Belgradas FMP. Atcerieties, tomēr bija savulaik leģendārs klubs, tagad nedaudz nolaidušies.
Bija FMP. Pirms mega basket bija baigā serbu talantu kalva FMP.
Kaut kāda otrā līdz 2006. gadam vienīgais klubs Eiropā, kas plusos dzīvoja.
Jā, viņi pārdeva spēlētājs. Teodosičs nāk no FMP.
Teodosičs bija lielākais pārdevums 2,7 miljoni. Basketbolā, protams, ir kosmos.
Jā, tur vēl bija kaut kā daži ļoti tā laika nopietni džekot. Mačvans, ka tik no turienes.
Nē, Miličs bija hemofarmā.
Jā, hemofarmā.
Tur bija katru
Mačvani
gadu
un
4 talantiem. Es vēl strādāju.
Kas man par dāvi atmiņā, es nezinu, vai tas bija tajā mačā.
Danks?
Jā, es dāvi, ka tu vēl projām šādi vari. Mēs zinājām, ka viņš trīnīšus met, mēs zinājām, ka viņš var ielikt no augšas, bet tas jau bija kaut kāds tāds gala līnija atmuguriski un tā neizties. Viņš pat atspērās likās, kad 75% jaudas tā mierīgi iecirt.
Kad dāvi dzīvē ierauga.
Viņš ir garš cilvēks.
Viņš ir riktīgi liels cilvēks. Viņš nav tā kā...
Garš cilvēks ar garām rokām un viņš ir tas stiegrainais, vieglais tipiņš un īstenībā jau viņš... Vienkārši tas, ka viņš spēles stils tāds, ka liekas, ka viņš tuvāk pat 8 metriem neiet. Jā.
Bet visu cieņu gan Dāvim, gan Rodionam, gan Ojāram, manuprāt, MVP balvu otro raidījumu pēc kārtas šķiet ir izpelnījies Kristaps Porziņš. 34 punkti, 8 realizēti tālmetieni un Bostona pagarinājumā apspēlē Ņujorku.
Un,
nevar nedot, manuprāt.
Protams, un Ballītes izceļ savu pirmssezonas līkmi, pārliecinoši KP. Stabili paliek zem 20 punktiem vidējā mačā, 19,5 pārliecinoši izcels vispār bez stresa. Jā. Īstenībā paveicās, ka viņam bija tas sliktais nogrieznis sezonas vidū, jo sezonas beigās.
Paveicās, ka uz to puslaiku noņem.
Jā, jo sezonas beigās viņš tur ārdījās nenormāli sākumu, atgriezās labi, paveicās. Un starp citu, bija cik spēles bija? 42 spēles ir nospēlējis. Bija 43. Vajag tās likums. Ričarda lūgums mūsu aizkulišu producentam apskaties pirmās likmes no pirmssezonas raidījuma pirmā. Cik spēles es devu Kristofam? Vai bija 43,5 vai 41,5? Un es liku arī spēles, ka nesavāksies. Bet tā varbūt vismaz spēlēs. Bija interesanti.
Tur punktos vēl ātrāk atgriezās, nekā bija paredzēts.
Tur jau tā lieta, bet ik pa brīdim izlaid, un uz to es arī spekulēju. Bet punktos pārliecinoši. Tomēr, jā, tur ļoti stabili vispār nebija pat tu. Un labi, es amzējos. Labi, ka nav vēl kāds 10 spēles regulārajā sezonā. Kristaps noteikti pāriet pāri, jo tos, ko viņš tur darīja beigās. 30 viņi tur viens pēc otra bija.
Bet Kristaps ieskrējies, Boston ieskrējusies un arī, principā, jau naktī uz rītdienu startēs NBA izslēgšanas spēles. Sāksim, protams, ar pārspēlēm, kā jau tas ierasts pārspēdējos gados.
Tas ir tā kā izklausās par palikšanu līgā.
Tas ir tā latviski, man kā žurnālistam, tas ir tā.
Man patīk, ka tu latvisko visu, ka es tev jāraksta pareizi, bet es varu palikt pie play-in spēlēm.
Netīšām kaut ko uzzināju, kad Francijas līgā šogad spēlēja virdo kosmiskākajām sistēmām. Kristians Zorika Leportēl palikuši priekšpēdējie. Pēdējā laikam automātiski birstārā.
Jā.
Un priekšpēdējie piedalās otrās līgas play-offos. Un, lai noturētos Pro A, viņiem ir jāuzvar otrā līga. Tas nozīmē, ka Kristaram priekšā ir play-offs. Bet ar otro līgu vēl jāizspēlē.
Bet otrā līga notiek arī kaut pilns ar labām komandām.
Viņiem ir jāuzvar līdz 8 gaņa, un tad viņi, es pieļauju, ka ir tā, ka pēdējā vieta krīt ārā, un pirmā vieta iet uz augšu. Un tad viņi iet tās pirmās vietas.
Un tad izspēlē.
Viņš pats vēl nezināja īsti, bet viņš teica, ka mēs laikam izsēt esam 4. vai 5. Tā kā visas sērijas vēl izbraukumā jāspēlē.
Paklau, es pareizi.
Ot izdomāts ir. Džeki ir izdomāts.
Bet Kristers jau tā. Jau čemodāns salicis jau.
Viņš nav.
Tūlīt pēdējā spēlē jau nopirks, jau biļeti, jau viss tur. Jaunpils. Džeki tagad klājiet bufeties, jau tūlīt būšu. Un vēl jāizspēlē play-offs. Atliekam bufeti pa mēnesi.
Ja viss labi iet vēl mēnesi.
Un Francija vēl ir tas čempions, kas vienmēr maut līdz praktiski jāņem.
Jaunpils čempions, Jaunpils aliņš jau atliekts, viss notiek.
Un tam visam pa virs Aleks izbērs nebaidās. Tā kā šeit mēnesi vienkārši grabina vēl.
Nav brīnums, ka Kristers viņam ir apnicis ārzemēs.
Pārzemē, Francijā viņš tā.
Šis tiešām ir interesanti. Tas tā kā tagad, faktiski vēl Lūva liks grabināt ar visu LBL2.
Viņas izsēja
pa vidu un, ja gribat palikt, ar mazajiem.
Uz Jākapili izbrauciet. Un beigās, kas tur
Gulben,
Gulben. Bet labi, tas viss Eiropā, bet, kā jau minēja, tuvojās NBA play-ins, jeb latviski pārspēles. Edgar, pastāsti, kas ir jādara basketbola līdzjutējiem, tuvojoties izslēgšanas spēles sākumam?
Kā jau jūs ziniet, es kādu laiciņu pirms vispār radās Zeļļi, Ūdens un Rīgas Zeļļi, kad laiku organizēja NBA izslēgšanas spēļu, tādu prognožu spēli. Un šogad ir 19. gads, tā kā, ja Ūdenszeļļiem ir 9 gadi, Zeļļiem ir Rīgas 2 gadi, tad šis jau ir 19. reizi. 2005. gadā mēs sākām, bet bija kaut kāds gads, kad mēs izlaidām, un tad man pierunāja atkal atsākt. Nē, kaut kas pirms tam bija kaut kādā reizē. Es biju sagurs vai nogurs vai lokauts vai kaut kas bija. Un tad faktiski, ja mēs saskaitām, ka no 25 līdz 25 tas būtu 21 gads vajadzētu būt, bet 19. reize, tad 2 gadus mēs izlaidām un tad esam atsākuši. Un, tā kā visiem, kam interesē NBA basītis, kam patīk playoff, lai būtu interesantāk, piedalāties NBA prognožu spēlē. NBA Playoffs LV, tā arī saucās vietni, dodaties, un tur viss būs noteikumi. Jāmin rezultāts sērijās, jāmin čempions, jāmin, kas būs MVP un tā tālāk, un rezultātā labākie minētāji tiek pie tie diezgan labām balvām. Parasti te apbalvošana ap Jāņiem notiek, līdz ar to līgo svētkus var pavadīt daudz labākā garstāvoklī, bet es teiktu, ka lielākais iegūms no visa, parasti mums ir ap 100 līdz 200 dalībniekiem, pēdējos gados tuvāk 200. varbūt grūtāk ir tikt tajās balvās, bet tas lielākais iegūms ir, ka vienkārši daudz interesantāk sekot NBA playoffiem. Un faktiski no rīta mostoties vai vismaz highlights skaties, varbūt kādu spēli ierakstā skaties. Un tiem, kam patīk basīts, tīpaši, ka vēl Latvijas porziņas Kristaps spēlēs, tad daudz interesantāk ir prognozēt. Boston, jā, nē, ar kādu rezultātu. Un tad kādā ziņā ar pievienoto vērtību var sekot līdz NBA izslēgšanas spēlēm.
Vēl viena tāda varbūt ne tik ļoti redzama pievienotā vērtība ir tas, ka tev e-pastu sūta Ādams Silvers.
Jā.
Varbūt var pastāstīt, kā izdevās viņu pieslēgt šai avantūrai.
Nē, viņam jau tāda baigi daudz ko darīt nav. Kas te viņam tur drafts, All-Stars drafts, ko viņam vispār nav ko darīt pirms playoffiem. Tad nekas nenotiek. Līdz ar to viņš gribēja kaut kādu papildus darbiņu. Jā, tā kā Ādams Silverkungs arī ir iekšā. Pirms tam, starp citu, Sternkungs nelaicis arī ilgs gads bija, bet, lai viņam viegls smilts, un tad automātiski, protams, stafeti pārņem jaunais komisārs.
Es starp citu redzu betiņas tāds, man liekas, tas Lakers 16 ir tāds.
Varam arī pieķerties
cik mazliet
nedaudz.
Parunāt, jā.
Parotaļāties.
Instant Thunder ir galvenie favorīti, jā. Es tomēr teiktu, ka Boston ir galvenie favorīti, un 2,9 ir pietiekoši intriģējošs koeficients, ko varētu izmantot. Tad uzliksiet 100 eiro, 290 jūsējie. Es teiktu, ka Boston ir noteikti galvenais favorīts. Artūri minēties Lakers arī ir interesants. Es viņiem līdz galam tā kā neticu, bet Luka un Lebrons kopā, zināms drauds tas ir. Bet tie, kas spēlē totalizatoru, tad vērtība jau bieži vien ir ne tikai vai tiešām Lakers jātic ir, ka viņi var uzvarēt, bet tas risks saucamais, jeb tas iegūms ir tas, kas ir galvenā vērtība. Piemēram, tiem, ko mēs varam pašrakstēt priekšā, tad jūs uzliksiet Lakers, un ja viņi tiks, piemēram, NBA pusfinālā, kas ir diezgan reāli, tad tas koeficients jau būs nokrities pamatīgi uz to brīdi. Līdz ar to likt varēs apgriezt to likmi. Jā, un tiem, kas mazliet nodarbojās ar sporta totalizatoriem, ir iespējas, kā saka, nohedžot savu pirmo izvēli un jebkurā gadījumā nopelnīt, vai Lakers kļūs par čempioniem vai nekļūs. Jā, tā kā var no tās prizmas paspēlēties.
Ja Artūrs redz vērtību Lakeriem, tad es savukārt neredzu varbūt tik izteiktu vērtību Golden State'ai, kurai vēl šonakt ir pirmā play-in spēle, un viņiem, redzam, ir 5. labākais, piektais mazākais koeficients uz uzvaru.
Es pilnībā piekritīšu, viņiem jātiek tajos play-offos.
Viņiem ir principā 3 iespējas. Pirmo viņi neizmantoja pret Clipperiem.
Jā, starp citu pastāstīt, kas notika. Es dzirdēju, neredzēju pastāst, kas notika.
Respektīvi, ja Golden State būtu uzvarējis to spēli, viņi būtu iekšā jau play-offā.
Jā, bet kas tur notika? Pagarinājums, kā vai Lenards neizlika, bet pagarinājumā vai kāds Reimons?
Vintage Hardens bija ierindā. Tu teici kaut ko par Reimondu.
Reimonds aizmet no apakšu garām. Lejap. Tas, ko es redzēju highlightos. Neskatījos spēli.
Hardens 3-9, 10 piespēles, Lenards 3-3, 6-7, 3 stīli. Zubačs, starp citu, 22-17, 3 piespēles, labākā sezona viņam. Tā kā, Stefam un Butleram kopā 66 punkti, bet neizdevās iekļūt. Bet līdz ar to, ko es vēl varu parunāt, es domāju, interesanti likme pievienoties Artūram, var to Cavs arī mazliet pataustīt. Pirmkārtām viņiem ir mājaspeļu priekšrocības līdz pat austrumu finālam. Jā, tā kā...
Ja nav Thunder finālā, tad līdz galam.
Jā, vēl ļoti labi piebildi. Ja nav Thunder finālā, tad līdz galam. Tā kā viņus noteikti var apskatīties, un koeficients ir ļoti solīts, un, protams, ka Boston, manuprāt, ir lielāks favorīts, bet, kas zina, viens savainojums turp šurpu, un mājās Clevelandā viņi ļoti labi spēlē, un nepavēlti viņiem ir labākais rekords austrumos, un 64-18, un tā kā tas ir vēl viens cipariņš, ko var apskatīties, un Lakers un Cavaliers ir, es teiktu, tādi value deali, value izvēles, vērtīgās izvēles, un Boston vienkārši ir spēcīgāka komanda.
Lakers vinnēs, bet 1-16.
Jā.
Man patīk.
New York jūs arī redzat, kā sesto?
Nē, es arī neredzu. Man liekas, ka viņiem varētu būt problēmas jau pirmajā kārtā pret Detroit. Pirmkārt, viņi regulāro sezonu zaudēja ar 1-3 viņiem. Otrkārt, Detroit vispār pārsteidz, un es nezinu, Thibodeau tur un tās viņa minūtes. Kas ar Bransonu? Viņš ir atgriezies jau?
Viņš ir atgriezies, bet... tāpat viņš tagad bija diezgan ilgu laiku.
Viens, kas mums ir jāpārunā, es domāju. Es neatceros, kad bija tā. NBA sācies kaut kāds treneru atlaišanas bums. Labi, es saprotu, ka Golden State netika patiešo playoffos, bet Steves Kers, ko viņš tieši izdarīja pēkšņi tāds liktāk, ja viņš ir atlaists tagad. Vai viņš tur sen jau bija pelnījis?
Steves Kers atlaid?
Vai tas bija fake news?
Ko?
Nē, es redzēju tādu.
Atlaida Jenkins, Memphis un atlaida
Mike Malone. Nu, tad es pagaidiet, es kaut ko nosapņoju.
Pagaidot pārbaudīs.
Kristian, nu, paskaties. Man liekas, ka Kers arī ir atlaists.
Nē, nu.
Vai tur es kaut ko...
Neredz neko, ka viņš būtu. Es pieļauju, ka tad sanāk, you got sentled, kā tagad saka, ka ir tas NBA Central un Sentel, un tad sanāk...
Coach of Golden State Warriors.
Sentels
Tad es esmu uzrādījis.
Jā, un daudz, Steven A. Smits, Kevins Garnets, ļoti daudz uz šo iekrīt arī GO3 komentētāji uz Eirolīgas Sentel ir iekrituši, tā kā...
Nu tad Steve's Kers ir amatā.
Steve'am Keram viss kārtībā, bet jebkurā gadījumā...
Bet jebkurā gadījumā, Maiks Malones, kas tas tāds bija? Kurš var kaut ko pamatot? Es saprotu tiešām, ka ar Westbrooku esot nepamatot aizstāvējis Westbrooku, kurš esot čakarējis spēli un arī ģērbti, no tā radies šis konflikts.
Man ļoti patīk tā galotnē pret Minnesota mājās, kur viņi... Westbrooks viss sākās ar to, ka bija laikam kaut kāds 20 sekundes jāspēlē, no kurām 17 bumbi bija Denverē. Jā, viņš nolika garām lejap tur, kur tu pat varēji principā nemest pa grozu. Un pēc tam, kas tur vēl timeouts ir, to izmanto, protams, uzzīmē uz stūri. Un viņš, protams, ielec rokās 3 soļus.
Es atceros, jā, pret... Nu, jā.
Tas bija, un tā bija Jokiča tā vēsturiskā spēle, ko Westbrooks pamanījās sačakarēt.
Es šogad pa ilgiem gadiem sāku Westbrookam ticēt, ka varbūt viņš ir atrasts.
Jā, es arī sāku.
Jokičs tur viņi ir ielicis.
Maiks Malones labs treneris, kopumā čempionu titulu atnes. Bet ļoti interesanti. Man tas ir mazliet pat šokējoši.
Jenkins stāstu sapratu, bet...
Kas bija Jenkins stāstu?
Tu par Īsalo domā?
Ļoti gribēja noturēt Īsalo un bija indikācijas, ka viņam citu head coaching jobu tiks piedāvāt. Viņi domāja, labi, negaidīsim.
Īsalo ir tas džeks, kurš Parīzi pacēla pirms 2 gadiem.
Parīzi, un tad... Memphisā jau head coach šogad kļūs.
Tā kā reāli normāli
tagad gan viņš
reāli faktiski pacēlies no Eiropas.
Tādā analītiķu vidū tiek šobrīd uzskatīts par pasaules labāko treneru vispār.
Jā, tāpēc, ka visvairāk pievērš uzmanību analītiskiem datiem. Ļauj minēt, visvairāk pievērš uzmanību analītikai.
Es nezinu, vai viņš visvairāk vai vismazāk pievērš, bet viņš ir tā kā viņš ir overperformējis 2 gados pēc kārtas ar Bonu, vienā ar Parīzi. Memphisā vēl nav nekas izdarīts.
Viņš vēl pie tam sāk ar zaudējumiem, bet,
Nē, viņš jau parakstīts ar domu uz nākamo gadu. Tas būtu kosmos, ja cilvēks pārliek jaunu sistēmu un sāk vinēt pēc 2 spēlēm.
Ko viņš ir savādāk aizmirst Džo Morantam.
Viņš
Parīzē bija pasaulē labākais uzbrukums.
Jā, viss reitings.
Ātrākais, bet
efektīvākais.
Šogad Eirolīgā ir labāks uzbrukuma reitings nekā NBA. Vidējais. Un arī...
Tas nav pirmo reizi Eirolīgas?
Pirmo reizi, un arī, ja nemaldos, pace pat bija ātrāks, kas ir ļoti interesanti.
Labi, šis cits temats jāpapēc.
Bet vienkārši vajadzēja šito iespiest pa video.
Jā, interesanti.
Turpin lūdzu par Īsalo.
Tas nozīmē, ka Eirolīga arī super ātri.
Tas ir kosmos, ka kāda Eiropas treneri, kur NBA vispār tāds neņem pēkšņi. Pirms play-offiem atlaiž galveno, ne jau kaut kādu pamuļķi.
Jā.
Šitas ir pārāk svarīgi un viņš vajadzīgs.
Tieši tas bija indikācijas. Labi, tas ok. Bet Maika Malone...
Es jau neesmu klāt.
Bet Maika Malone tās...
Tur es neko nesaprotu.
Godīgi, tur šeit gribētu pakritizēt mazliet. Bet viņi arī ģenerālmenedžeri atlaid to Calvin Booth. Jā?
Tur bija runāja, ka viņiem ir savā starpā kaut kādas tur problēmas. Un ka to it kā, kas bija interesanti līdz tam, nekas publiski nebija iznācis. Un pēc tam tikai, kad viņi atlaid.
Šīs man ir tāda mazliet tā ownershipā mazliet tāds nesaprotams, jo gājiens tev ir pasaulē labākais spēlētājs, kurš pie šī trenera ir kļuvis par čempionu un MVP. Tev vajag, lai tas spēlēs jūtās turpināt labi. Tu varbūt runā ar to treneri, nezinu, to Westbrooku, kas var kaut ko mainīt. Ir jāmaina tas, bet atlaist viņu ļoti riskanti. Un it kā Jokičs, man patīk, kā viņš intervijās teica, jā, ka es uzzināju pāris stundas ātrāk nekā jūs man izstāstīja to lēmumu. Es piekritu un pieņēmu. Uzklausīju un pieņēmu, laikam bija pareizais traktējums. Nebija tā, ka piekritu, bet uzklausīju un pieņēmu, accepted it.
Cita atletika bija raksts par, nevis par to, kāpēc atlaist treneri, bet reiz kontekstā bija izmeklētas labākās frančīzes un izpētīts, ka viena pat galvenā īpašība vispār frančīzēm, kas ir veiksmīgas pret tām, kas ir neveiksmīgas, ir pacietība. Nemainīt treneris, nemainīt GMs.
Var mainīt, bet reiz 10 gados, nevis 3 gadā.
Tur pilnīgi 100% korelācija starp tiem, kas mētā treneris un ir sūdīgi ilgtermiņā, ir pret tiem, kas
veiksmīgākās frančīzes, Bulls, Spurs, Celtics, Lakers. Nu, tur ir Railijs, Auerbachs, Džeksons, Popovičs. Nu, protams, ir jāatrāp tādā personībā.
Atceramies arī to pašu Golden State, kas izveidojās par dinastiju tikai tad, kad beidz mainīt treneris.
Citu es atvainojos, es tiešām redzēju tādu postu, un man likās no credible source.
Ir tas NBA Central.
Tur sakrita, ka viņi zaudēja to spēli, man galīgi viss tas
aipuši prātā. Par Quentin postu, kur pirms sezonas mēs mēģinājām atvēlēt Zeļļi.
Es domāju, Facebook postu, Quentin postus, zini, jā, labs spēle.
Tas ir virsraksts. Starp citu.
Nē, bet
viņš labi spēlē.
Tā bija realitāte.
Mēs
viņu uzrunājām.
Mums viņš neapmierināja.
Nē, pateic, ka viņam jāpakaid drafts, visticamāk viņa draftēs un nebūs.
Mēs izskatījām, sapratām, ka viņš tomēr nedara.
Mums viņš apmierināja, bet neko no Justin dabūjām. Kventins netika mums.
Bet
Golden State pamatā ir.
Starp citu par Īsolo jau jokoja, ka Moranta laiks beidzies Memphisā, jo TJ Shorts nāks.
jā.
Kā viņš no Bonas atvilka.
Šorts bija Bona, tad Parīze.
Šorts vispār vēl bija tajā, vai tā bija Heidelberga, vai kas, kur vēl viņš bija iepriekš. Tur, kur Šorts pirmo reizi aizgāja.
Īsalo bija, pirms Bonas bija kaut kādā Heidelbergas klubā Vācijā.
Jā.
Heidelbergā.
Nu, vienā no šitiem.
Es to pirmo viņa soli neatceros. Es zinu, ka viņš paņēma Bonu no 14. vietas, 2. gadā 2., 3. Champions League tituls. Vācijā pirmie regulāri, kā es neatceros.
Nē, Krailsheims Merlinos viņš bija. Jā, tur viņš bija 5 gadus. Jā,
5 gadus, jā. Tur viņš kurienes vispār nāk no turienes viņš pacēlās? No Somijas skaidrs?
16. gadā no
Somijas līgas.
Jā, no Somijas līgas.
No nekurienes, principā.
Cik gadi viņam ir?
Viņš 14. gadā tikai noslēdza treneru karjeru. Spēlētāji, jā. Un 2 gadus vēlāk viņš jau bija Bundeslīgas treneris.
Un analītiķi saka, vislabāk sako analīzē, jā?
Es iesaku īstenībā.
Vislabāk sako, bet, ir starp analītiķiem tas uzskats, ka šis ir pasaulē best coach.
Tiem, kam
varbūt
interesē padziļinātāk, es kaut kad vēl Twitterī rakstīju, noklausījos vienu viņa, kā sauc tās treneru, tās, ne semināri, bet tās klīnikas.
Jā.
Serbijā. Un, tur bija, es esmu vairākas klausījies, bet tā bija tāda, kur viņš pievērsa uzmanību nenormālākajām detaļām. Un arī tur bija kaut kādi jaunie serbi, kas viņš tur Belgradā pasniedz to lekciju, un kaut kādi jaunie serbu spēlētāji. Un viņš tiešām apmēram milzīgs attention to detail un pa milimetriem apmēram, kur tiem spēlētājiem jābūt un kā jānoliek.
Ja neklausies, mēs pa viņu treneru sapulcēs šādi tad parunājam.
Zinu, esmu dzirdējis. Kā tu neesi Īsalo, protams, ka dzirdējis.
Viņam nav sociāla tīkla, viņš lasa tikai grāmatas. Viņš mēģina atrast kaut kādas idejas basketbolam. Viņš mēģina atrast idejas basketbolam no kaut kādām citām dzīves jomām.
Eiropas frīki, kur brīdim apmaldās NBA. Lats arī bija vien brīdi Eiropā galvenais frīks, labākais frīks. Cik viņš pussezonu noturējās, Lebrons viņu izmet ārā un paldies, un NBA vīd beidzas.
Jā, viņam uzmetīs vienu granātu nākamā.
Viņš ar loku viņu nošaus, kā Daugoviņš Artūrs.
Tur tos ieročus tur tikai stiprina visu laiku.
Daugoviņš Artūru Irbi savā pirmajā treniņā izlasē, jāatgādina, jā, Kaspars Daugoviņš, Latvijas izlases kapteinis. 18 gados iegāja Latvijas izlasē un iemet Mūrim vārds, iemet ballīti. Labi, tas tā salīdzinot.
Tā, mums ir vēl kaut kas, kam mēs gribam.
Mēs varam, ja mēs Counter-Strike, klausies Counter-Strike salīdzinājumā Artūru, viņš visu laiku apgrēdo ieroči, viņš tur iepērkās džā visu laiku. Ja viņam atņem pistolīti, viņam ir granāti, viņam atņem granāti. Tagad viņam granāti metēja to. Mums nevajag parunāt par prognozēm NBA.
Man liekas, pilnīgs kosmos.
Kas? Morants?
Viņš nemācās vispār no nekādām kļūdām un turpina ar to.
Viņš arī, viņš nemācīs. Es domāju, ka viņš nāk no tādas vides, kurā tas rebels, es teiktu, viņš ir rebels.
Saprot, tur tā lieta par to viss smējās, ka viņš nav tas ūda džeks. Viņš vienkārši grib tāds būt, un tas ir pilnīgs kosmos.
Es teiktu, ka viņš kaut kādā veidā caur to attieksmi, tas viņš ir kā rebels tad pret savu bagāto ģimeni, ka viņš parādīs, ka viņš tā var, ok, jūs man aizliksiet šaut, es metīšu granāts, jūs man aizliksiet mēs granāts, braukšu tanku, jums aizliksiet mēs braukšu tanku, es braukšu zemūdeni. Bet visu laiku kariņu spēlēsim. Jā, un ko jūs varat man izdarīt? Ja? Man liekas, ka viņai kaut kāds šausmīgs pretrunu cilvēks.
Es domāju, Edgar krietni labāk atceries un zina visu par tiem laikiem, kad Davids Sterns vispār NBA virzīja prom no tiem gangsteriem.
Protams.
Kad ievies tur dreskot un visu pārējo.
Iversons tāpat ķēdēs nāca un maksāja sodu katreiz. Viņš ir Iversons, es teiktu. Iversons atceries uzvalku laikā, nāca 15 ķēdēm un platām džinsām un maksāja tik sodus, jo viņam bija vienalga.
Jo visa līga arī, tas, ko Lebrons visu laiku saka, ka viņš tur ir more than an athlete un tā tālāk, ka visa līga tomēr virzās uz to spēlētāju brendu, uz visu pārējo. Un tad tev ir viens
Morants arī ir more than athlete, viņš arī ir karavīrs.
Jā, tad ir viens šitāds, kurš iet tur šaudās vēl kaut ko.
Bet nu, mēs varam paprognozēt. Ejam abu konferenču finālu.
Starp citu, pirms sākām, Artūram jau bija. Viņš jau teica, ka viss skaidrs.
Iziet Artūru, sauc savēju.
Tur ir skaidrs.
Es domāju, austrumos diezgan viegli. Cleveland, Boston.
Jā, tur var nediskutēt. Un Lakers, Oklahoma, tur arī izspēlēs finālu. Un finālā Boston, Lakers, leģendārs duels.
Ejam labāk. Clippers, Denver, pirmais rauns.
Es nezinu.
Es ņēmu uz Denveru. Es lieku Denveru, jā.
Es iešu pretī ņēmu Clippers, 8 uzvaras pēc kārtas ieskrējušies. Tyrons Lue jau ir čempionu titulu izcīnījis, kaut ko saprot, un man liekas, ka Denver mazliet apmaldījusies varētu būt tagad. Varbūt, es lieku uz Clipperiem. Pārējās, es domāju, Lakers vinēs Minnesota. Ja Golden State tiks, tad Golden State Houston būs interesants duels. Ja, bet ja Golden State tiks, viņiem gan ir divas
iespējas. Jā.
Pēdējā spēlē nosacīja, ka arī uz 3 punktiem vai uz cik?
Jā, tur bija kaut kas.
Žāmens?
Jā.
Tas arī ir
slimi.
Jūs to ir tāds melnais zirdziņš.
Jā.
Vēl, bet,
Viņi tur super frīkiši atlēti. Vai atlēti pa savam, vai atlēti kā lidojoši un skrejoši, vai vienkārši super pārcēlēs stipri cilvēki, kā aizmirst savu jaunzēlandiešu centru atgādina. Stevens Adams. Kurš jau kur cilvēku var pacelt un izvest.
Gaisā noķer un nonest.
Viņš tikko tu sadusmojas, viņš tev apķer un tā tu tiešām kā viņš tur? Tu tiešām grūstīsies ar mani.
Kas tikko gaisā kaut ko noķēra, kad jau bija piezīme nosulpt un vienkārši nones malā.
Stevens Adams ar vienā apķeras. Viņš tur sāk, kā jau basītīs tos gājienus. Viņš tā kā grūž, viņš nekustās un tur viņš tā ar smaidot. Tu tiešām, tā gribi ar mani, tu grūstīsies. Tas otrs nobienājās. Kurš tas bija aizmirst? Tā kaut kā, es domāju, austrumos tur baigi daudz ko nav analizēt. Tik cik, tās pirmās kārtas vairāk brīnumu varētu būt, bet fināls ir skaidrs. Bet rietumos man nekas nav skaidrs.
Es lieku uz Lakers Thunder.
Es domāju, Thunder būs, bet Lakers tad mazliet nesaprotam arī. Nav pārliecības līdz galam.
Ja, es uz to skatos ļoti primitīvi varbūt. Ja Luka ar Kairiju kā otros labāko spēlētāju varēja vinēt, tad, ja viņam otrais ir Lebrons, kas ir upgrades, tad, kāpēc viņš nevar tikt finālā ar šito?
Pirmā sezona pēc 20 gadu pārtraukuma, kad met zem 25 punktiem vidēji.
Vispār tas pēc 20
gadu, jā.
Viņš spēlē 22. sezonu, viņš pirmajā nemet 25 un pēdējā nemet. Un 20
bet tur jau, bet bija, es redzēju arī no
kosmos.
Joku kontiem, ka kopā ar dēlu ir. Tā kā, tur 26 vidē, laikam, sanāk.
Arī, jā.
Tā kā, jā. Bet labi, tad jūs prognozes, es saku, Lakers Thunder.
Treneriem aizmirstam Mike Budenholzer, kas laikam pamatots.
Jā, tur jau sezona beigas.
KD, Bīl un tā tālāk. Kas bija tikko pēdējā ziņa? Bīlsot sadusmojies, ka viņam
prasīja spēlēt kā Drew Holiday.
Ieteicis spēlēt kā Drew Holiday, ka tas ir winning basketbols, un Bīls teica, come on, man liekas spēlēt kā citam. Nevar nekad disrespektēt man vairs. Labi, Bats tur bija skaidrs, ka beigsies. Viņi netika play-inā pie tam pa kaut kādām 3 uzvarām.
Tas ir milzīgs disappointments.
Disappointments viens, bet KD, viņam pašam ar nav kauns, ka viņš nevar savākt brigādi jau kuro reizi ap sevi. Visu laiku viņam kaut kāds problēmas.
Vajadzēja palikt Golden State.
Vajadzēja gan.
Ai.
Mēs jau pagājušais ar Kristiānu teicām, ka faktiski stulbākais lēmums viņa dzīvē, kad viņš aizgāja prom 17. gadā, kad viņi vinēja. Nē, 18. zaudēja finālā, tad aizgāja.
Daudz vidējus.
19. Tā bija fināls pēc Raptors, pēc tam aizgāja.
Ahilu, jā.
Pārāk labi spēlējām.
Tagad Brooklynā bija baigi labie gadi.
Brooklynā bija tuvu.
Pārāk garš īkšķis viņam.
Pārāk garš īkšķis un tur noplīs komandas biedri. Varbūt tur būtu viss salicies, mēs domātu savādāk. Bet tāpēc viss, kas pēc tam bijis, tur ir.
Jā.
Skumīgi, jo tas tiešām tāds, man liekas, super talantīgs, interesants spēlētājs, kur turklāt var ielikt jebkurā sistēmā.
Viņš ir Hall of Famers, viņš ir olimpisko spēļu, tur leģendārs vecis ar 4 zeltiem, un kurš nezinu, kad vēl pārspēs viņu, bet jā, mēs jau salīdzinājām, ka viņa, ja noņem nos 2 tituls ar Warriors, viņa faktiski karjeru neatšķirās no Melo karjeras. Super rezultīvs džeks, izlasē, protams, Dream Teamā baigais dūzes, kur bija mazliet vieglāk vinēt. Pārējā laikā nemaz tā īsti nesanāk. Melo vismaz komandas biedrs bijis labāks. Es saprotu, ka viņš
konferences fināls, tas ir līdz finālā ar Oklahoma, ko viņš vēl ir izdarījis.
Un Melo vismaz nekašķējas ar komandas biedriem un treneriem. Tā viņš tā kā ir respektēts universāli. Man liekas, nebija kaut kāds baigas.
Nē, tas jau nav.
Nav gan, jā. Denverā viņš tur laikam apzējies, tas vēl jaunāks bija. Kristiāna, kas mums notiek? Igauni jau ir... Igauni nekavē šoreiz, viss kārtībā?
Nē, principā, ja ir gatavs, tad varam arī sākt tagad, vai arī varam iziet vēl Mr. V testu.
Izējam Mr. V testu.
Izējam Mr. V testu un tad slēdzamies tālsrunai ar Tallinu. Tā kā redzēsim, Misters V prasīja pirms raidījuma, teica, ka 50/50. Tad, kad esot grūti, tad mēs atminam, kad esot viegli, tad mēs neatminam.
Ok, let's go.
Šoreiz tāds 50/50. Nikola Jokičs pārspējas Stefana Karī rekordu, kas tika uzstādīts pirms 8 sezonām. Kas šis ir par rekordu? Viņam nebija kaut kāds rekords, cik viņš tur spēles pēc kārtas trīneri iemets?
Jokičs. Karīs tak iemet kaut kāds 110 spēles vai cik pēc kārtas.
Šitam es neticu.
Un citi varianti?
Stīli, ko viņi tur dara līdzīgi. Nu, viņi neko paigi līdzīgo nedara. Es nezinu, vispār nedara.
Tas ir rekords, kaut kāds rekords. Stef Karī rekords. Tas ir, kaut kāds tur punkti.
Komandas rezultīvākais spēlētājs, bet viņš ik pa laikam atdod piespēles un iemet 15. Bez idejas, teikšu godīgi.
Pat ideja nav. Iedod Kristiāns.
Jā, jau ceļu rokas, skatos būs tūlīt.
Visos 3 galvenajos rādītājos līderis. Stefs tur nevāc daudz piespēles un nevāc daudz rebounds, bet viņiem tur, piemēram, nebija sezonā, varbūt...
Jokičs tagad līderis ir tur 5 rādītājos, man liekas.
Šī būs tā reize, kad nav nejausmas.
Viens jāizdomā, kurā šaujam.
Kristiāna aiziet. Tev bija kaut kāda ideja.
Kaut kāds true shooting procents nav. Bet,
tik trāk nebūs, es domāju, te jau.
Kristiāna, tev tur bija ideja, kas tur...
Šaujam tajos statistikas rādītājos, ka visos komandā līderis.
Izmesti, jā? Izmesti vai iemesti? Vai var pačukstēt priekšā? Izmesti vai iemesti? Tas ir izmests vai iemests?
Es nedzirdu neko.
Varbūt to režisoru.
Es nogriezis viņu.
Ko saka? Izmesti vai iemesti visvairāk no savas laukuma?
Tā, mēs dzirdam. Izmest vai iemesti?
Izmest, jā. Dzirdam, paldies.
Cik viņš tur izmetis, Johai?
Viņš jau daļu uzsit tur, kur viņš ar to plaukstu uzsit pēdējās sekundēs arī.
Jā.
Tāda viņam arī ir.
Cilvēks.
Ja godīgi, viņam Jokičam ir labākā statistikas viņa paša sezona. Ja, tur ir kaut kāds cik 26 plus 12 plus 10.
Super īsi.
Nē, viņam ir 29 kaut ko.
Kas jūs MVP? Jokičs?
Jokičs ir jādod. Šais gan ar, protams, ir.
Domāju, šais dabūs, bet Jokičs manējais. Ejam nākamo.
Man ar Jokičs, bet šajam var iedot, jā.
Kurš no šīs sezonas debitantiem pirmais sakrāja triple-double?
Castles tikko nebija.
Nebija Rīgas Zeļļis? Arī?
Rīgas to...
Man liekas, viņam
tiešām nesavāc. Man tā lietosim latviešu vārdus.
Man liekas, ka viņam bija.
Nē, es nezinu, bet noteikti nesavāc, man liekas. Es teiktu, ka Stefans Castles un kaut kad pavisam nē.
Uzelim bija arī, man liekas.
Uzelim bija, bija Uzelim, bet tas arī bija.
Uzelim,
bija. Viņš jau uz beigām sāk diezgan normāli spēlēt.
Kā šitas te dabūja, Gidijs dabūja gan kvadriple-double?
Labi, Gidijs nav debitants.
Bet viņš
Buželim nebija triple-double. Buželim 30 punkti bija vairāk.
Nē, bet viņam bija.
Castles.
Stefan Castles.
Castles in the wind.
Pareizi. Toronto šis brīnums spēlē. Jā. Kā viņš varēja savākt triple-double? Ar blokiem?
Pirmais sakrāja triple-double.
Ar blokiem?
Ar blokiem, stīliem un kļūdām.
Apmēram.
Labi.
Un trešais. 0-2 pagaidām.
Parastais.
Ejam tālāk.
Kā cilvēki ēdās var triple-double?
4 spēlētājiem vismaz 4 sezonās izdevies gūt 50 plus punktus 2 vai vairāk reizes. Stefans Karijs, Wills Chamberlains, Maikls Jordans un...
Tā izlasam vēlreiz jautājumu. 4 spēlētājiem vismaz 4 sezonās izdevies gūt...
Hardens ir loģiskākā izvēlšana.
Hardens šo sezonu ir iemetis? Nav iemetis.
Bet tas jau nav teiks, ka šo sezonu notiek.
Jā, es domāju, Karijs ir šo sezonu 4. sezonu iemetis. Karijam bija 50. Jordans un Chamberlains vairs nespēlē taču.
2 vai vairāk reizes jāsamet.
Un Karijam ir šo sezonu.
Vai 4. Karijs jau tur ir rakstīts.
Es redzu, es tagad domāju, Hardens loģiskākā izvēle. Viņam tie uz Houstons pīķa gados, tur noteikti bija 60, 50.
3 sezonas viņš ir točni savācis.
Noteikti.
Jā, noteikti.
Noteikti savāds. Ja mēs atgriežamies pie mātes valodas, kā mēs, kas vēl, Hardens, bet padomājam vēl. Kobe vēl nāk prātā. Kobe arī,
Varētu būt, jā. Ja tur būs kaut kāds Gilberts ar Enestulītās.
Nē, Gilberts tik daudz sezonas nedominēja.
Ņemam Harden, ko mēs te izgribam?
Harden vai Kobe?
Harden.
T-Max.
Nē, T-Max tik daudz nebija. T-Maxam nebija pīķa sezonas, viņš tur noplīs pēc kaut kā.
Kā mēs Harden?
Lai iet Hardens, bet es saku rezervē Kobe.
Ir
labi. Viens vismaz malači. Jā, bet jaudīga statistika, jā.
Nu, šoreiz Misters vēl uzvarēja.
Hārdens šogad arī ielika 50. Tak vienā,
Vajag divos.
Nē, zinu, es
bija
domāju, vai
divos,
šogad viņš neielika 50 vai 40, bija 40.
Man liekas,
Bet,
pielikt.
tagad labi, nevis ok.
Ok, vēl kaut cik, bet man tas
Pievērsīsimies mūsu viesim. Sīm Raudla has joined us. We will now switch to English. Nice to meet you, Sīm. You already know me. I'm Kristians, and we have Artūrs Šenhovs and Edgars Buļs with us here. All together we are Ūdenszeļļi, and you, of course, are Sīm Raudla from ngumehed. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes. Hi, guys. Greetings from Tallinn, and thanks for having me.
Hello, Sīm. This is Edgars. Nice to meet you. Firstly, you have to change your sponsor, general sponsor, because you know LVBet is much better than Unibet. You know, if you do some betting, do it in LVBet. Yeah, I don't know if they are in Estonia, but at least you can go LVBet LV always. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to disagree with this, but yeah.
But to start off,
I think we don't have LVBet in Estonia, but I may.
I guess we don't have Unibet in Latvia.
we don't.
We had it, but we don't have it yet now.
But
we are in no competition.
But just to start off, since we're doing a crossover episode between the biggest shows in Latvia and Estonia about basketball, can you talk us a bit through how did the ngumehed start and what's your role on it?
Actually, it started like 5 years ago. It was quite spontaneous, you know. Just it was a regular thought to start a basketball podcast because I played previously in Estonian league, and after that started coaching, and you know, it just somehow it just came up, and we started it, and now we are running the 5th season. So I'm basically running it, and we have some co-hosts and some other guests.
But it's not only a podcast. I've seen you also have some kind of documentaries about Estonian players, interviews, and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think we had 5th season this autumn. I think we had 8 shows, and yeah, basically those are like documentaries about our players, our coaches, I don't know, our sports directors, etc. So yeah, it's like not only podcasts, but also, yeah, we are on TV. After our TV games, we are running those 30-minute documentaries as well.
So basically, we are our elder brother from Latvia. We are in our 9th season. Maybe Artūrs can give you a couple words how we started maybe 9 years ago.
We started 9 years ago when I worked on TV at the time, and we made an NBA TV show, mainly at the time. Now it has evolved into a little bit more general basketball, and it is our 9th season. And 2 years ago, out of the TV show, Rīgas Zeļļi basketball club was born. So we have new boss on TV show, and we do the real life basketball stuff.
Yeah, we got a bit tired to do always this NBA fantasies, etc. So we just switched to real life fantasy.
So we are waiting for Latvian Estonian league for ngumehed basketball club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
3-4 years.
I have
left.
to make a compliment. Guys. The studio looks really decent, and I didn't understand the word you were talking about, but it seemed serious.
Yeah, of course. We are very serious guys.
Yeah.
But you didn't give a response to Artūrs. You still have 3 or 4 years left to create your own team, like these guys did.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So I have one question, guys. As it's the Zeļļi podcast. How do I need to pronounce it while covering the games also in Estonia? Is like Zeļļi correct?
Zeļļi.
Rīgas Zeļļi.
With Z.
Zeļļi.
Rīgas Zeļļi.
Yeah.
Rīgas Zeļļi. Okay.
Yeah.
Zeļļi is correct.
Yeah, Zeļļi. More
Thanks.
starts with Z than with C, I would say, or S.
Okay.
Rīgas Zeļļi.
Zeļļi.
But okay, I think now we can move to some more serious things. So the 7th season of Estonian Latvian league has just been wrapped up. Maybe you guys can give some kind of a conclusion from your side, both as fans and as the board members of the club, and then you seem as an Estonian basketball expert.
I would say let's start probably with Sīm. Would like to give floor to you. Maybe you can tell to us, to Latvian audience, how Estonia views Latvian-Estonian league. What are the biggest pros and maybe cons also, which should be improved? Maybe you can give like a general perception of the league after the 7th season.
Yeah, I think first of all we all have to ask, like, is there like a certain longer plan for this league, or what we want from this league, how it should look like in, like, I don't know, 3 years or 5 years time? Where do we want to reach with this league? The league, in my eyes, for sure has grown, but has the growth been with the right tempo? I think this is also one of the main questions. And there for sure are some concerns, as with all the leagues in the world, I think. First of all, which I would point out is the schedule, which in my eyes has improved, but has to improve even more. So the standings in the middle of the season could make any sense. Like right now they don't. So like some teams have played 15 games and some at the same time, for example, like 9. So you cannot, count the standings really well. And some other things as well. Also, I think quality basketball league should also aim for those cash prizes. So for the future should be a must in my eyes, and both parts should move towards that. But overall, still the league, I think, is working quite well in my eyes. Until we have 2 different countries running one league, we will always have some problems. Both countries having their own so-called basketball pride, and some things are, I think, difficult to negotiate. At some parts, I see Estonian side working on their own, and Latvian side the opposite. So yeah, I think we maybe could move a bit closer. Maybe there should be one certain guy, like a CEO, running both countries, running the whole league. I think this is the main things I can point out.
I would agree about the CEO, because now I heard that
it must be Lithuanian. Because
maybe
if he's
otherwise
Latvian, then Estonians will be mad, and if he's Estonian, then Latvians will be
most
mad.
likely he or she should be from Estonia or Latvia. And I think it could be the biggest problem, because now I understand the league is run like separately from both federations, and our director Salvis is like mostly like speaking from Latvian club perspective, and your director from Estonian part. What's his name?
Ask Sim. I'm not
sure. He's Henry Ausma. I know.
Henry Ausma. Mr. Henry Ausma.
He makes good work, but the point is the same.
Probably if league should have its, I don't know, either league board or it could be board could sustain from representative of Latvian and also Estonian federation. They should appoint one guy or lady, one personality, who is like really thinking only about the league in general, to attract the best sponsorship, to attract the biggest audiences, TV contract and everything. Because I think the personalities run all the show, and yeah, it could be the first thing that we should change in our board of league. Or
sorry, Sim, do you know if Henry Ausma is also running the other Estonian leagues? Because the Salvis, who's in his position in Latvia, he's also running the other leagues in Latvia.
Amateur, let's say 2nd division, 3rd division, also women division league. So it's very hard. Of course, we have other representative for women leagues too in Latvia. But basically, yeah, maybe too much responsibilities for Salvis to run all leagues. Maybe if we are a professional league, then we should hire some real professional who is, of course, getting some salary, but he's also responsible for league budget. As, for example, in Latvia, Virsliga, we have like a CEO and president. Yeah, I could agree with you.
Yeah, I totally agree. Henry is also running 2nd division, 3rd division women's league, and as he's my good friend, I see that he's overworking a bit. I think Salvis the same, and maybe we need the CEO, who is only focusing for our league, and we can make it more attractive.
I mean, there are a couple of very obvious things that don't make sense to me. I just don't want to start with negative, but that's what comes to mind. And I've been covering the league in the first years now, being here as a participant. To me, that's weird that we cannot just agree on the same rules on the both sides, on the sports side, on marketing side, on everything. Because for now, I know Edgar sometimes disagrees with me, but I know a lot of clubs in Latvia disagree with me. But to me, the weirdest thing is that this is not our Latvian-Estonian league playoffs are not the clear main event at the end of the season, because we start Estonian and Latvian playoffs, and every year I get the same questions from casual and even more deeper basketball fans, like, why are you still playing? I just saw the whatever game. Last year it was for us quarterfinal, this year was the final, and they're surprised to hear that there is some other product coming up. I know I'm in a minority here with this opinion in league in general, but to me, we should prioritize Latvian Estonian.
This would be. I would add that it would be perfect scenario if it would be like an ideal world. But as we know, let's say Euro Cup spots are, let's say, divided into national championships, and it is like in all countries. For example, our champions and probably your champions get spot in FIBA Champions League. So if we can address all these things, that
of course
through Latvian Estonian League, also Eurocup spots are divided, then it would be the first thing. It would be the first thing to avoid national championship playoffs. However, still there's some history, local champions.
Loves the local playoffs.
Yeah. So in ideal world, we should play Latvian Estonian League playoffs till end of May or mid-May. But we are not in ideal world, and there's some history. And what's your opinion, Seem? Should you have Estonia still separate national championship playoffs?
Yeah. Actually, I think we have gone in a bit of different path, because you play it all together. You play Estonian Latvian League playoffs and Latvian League playoffs, right? At the same time, basically. Yeah, we do it differently. We have different concerns. The teams who didn't qualify for the Estonian Latvian League playoffs, they had a 1 month break. So they started first quarterfinal pair started yesterday. So basically, both Taltek and Keila Kulbet had a 30-day break after the Estonian Latvian regular season. So it's like a different way, but those teams who didn't get to the playoffs, they have big concerns. And now we are talking that next year we should do the same way like you are doing, playing it all together. But as I see from Artur's side, it's a big mess, yeah?
It is. I mean, we had the same situation. If we would have lost to Tartu, we would have 30 days off.
Yeah,
the same.
Exactly.
We would wait.
I would say, Seem, what Arturs is telling, that our fan society in general doesn't understand how. I still got today, like 2 days after big final, I still, but still Edgar's very good season. Final, yeah, don't worry, everything. So no, guys, after 2 weeks we are still a compete. So what do you compete? Where? It was a big final against VEF. It was a good event, but yeah, this is a problem for how to explain to audience, especially for the biggest part of audience. Basketball geeks understand that it's Latvian Estonian League playoffs and it's Latvian League playoff, but if we want to attract regularly, say 6, 7, 8, 9,000, four of them doesn't follow, do not follow a league like every day on everyday basis, and they will not understand like 1 playoffs, 2 playoffs. This is only 1 final game. Or series, it'll be final series, hopefully for us also final series. This is the biggest problem. How to explain that Latvian Estonian League playoffs are only mid-season, let's say, starting of end season, but not the final point. But it's not so easy. It's not so easy to cut national championships, because also, as I know, for example, the best regional league in Europe for years is Adriatic Basketball League, ABA, right? And still after ABA playoffs, there is national championships in Serbia, Croatia, etc. So there is no one formula which will suit everybody. Yeah, maybe bigger clubs, it's okay to end season now or not okay. It depends. Yeah. So basically, I think that in the nearest years we will not skip national championship playoffs.
What about giving the Euro Cup spots to cup winners? Maybe that could be a solution.
It's only a solution if league like basically league negotiates with Estonian Basketball Federation, also with Latvian Basketball Federation, but that no local playoffs and all Eurocup spots are decided into Latvian Estonian League playoffs. And the best team, for example, if we advance to Latvian Estonian League playoffs, and for example, the same result as this year, we lose in finals, so we're in second place also in Latvia.
But Seem, do you think Estonian side would agree with Edgars after such a season where only 2 teams were in the Latvian Estonian League playoffs?
This is a problem.
Yeah.
Probably not to agree with me. Let's start to agree with Artur. This is why I'm telling that it's not ideal world, and it's still 2 countries with local histories. Estonia has some history with national champions, and we have some history.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the history and the reasons and the FIBA reasons, but to me, it's very clear that we cannot make like a real championship with 10, 15 teams that looks like something. And Estonia is in the same situation, unless we really want to lower the level.
Seem, can I ask you like this? Does Estonian part still view Latvian Estonian League as the best version? Or is there some part in Estonian basketball society that thinks, hey, listen, we should still play only within Estonia, because TalTech and Tartu duel are still more interesting to public than TalTech against Rīgas Zeļļi, because we were in the Riga TalTech game. There were, I don't know, 100 spectators, and 2 weeks later there's university derby with 2,000
one of the best games of the season.
2,000 people, and everybody's crazy. Tell, like, opinion, how is in Estonian basketball society now?
Yeah, that's a good point, good question. I think overall, approximately, I think like 80% of the basketball community here think that this league with Latvians is a great thing. But of course, there are some expert expectations that we should play by our own. But for me, from my point of view, it would be a suicide, because right now, as it was like a really one-sided, I think the most one-sided season we have seen so far, as your teams really dominated the regular season, and as we know, none of our teams didn't qualify to the final as well, which was eventually a Latvian basketball party in Riga. So we need you more than ever, and most probably you do the same, because you have 7 teams only, and so for us it's the only way. It's the only way, and people who understand basketball in Estonia keep saying the same thing, that we have to play with the Latvians no matter what happens. If we want to raise our level, raise our players, raise our clubs, we need to play with you guys.
You already touched on only 2 teams making the playoffs and none of them making to the finals. Who would you say were the biggest disappointments in amongst Estonian clubs this season? Was it Tartu not making? Was it Kalev not making it to the finals? Was it Rapla not making it to the playoffs, or was it Pārnu or whatever?
Yeah, I think Artos is correct. I have to say Pärnu, because they played FIBA Europe Cup. They have a decent budget. They had a foreign coach. They had quite a lot of foreigners, good Estonian players, and they just crashed. I don't know. I think they ended up 12th place or something. So if you're Christian's asking for the biggest disappointment, it has to be, unfortunately, it has to be Pärnu.
To be honest, I have to compliment Estonian basketball. I don't view this year as some dominance. It was just a good sports year for Latvian clubs. But in general, from what I see in the league, a lot of Estonian clubs are doing really good things, getting really decent budgets. But you guys are shooting yourself in the foot with one rule. Like from a competitive perspective, I'm happy that we have this advantage that Latvian-Estonian market is not open equally for Latvians and Estonians. And you guys have to pay a lot of money for medium-level Estonian players and, in a way, handicap yourself. I don't know why Estonian clubs want to keep choosing this path, but they do, and we live in this world. Yeah, I don't mind, because we can sign Estonians freely. We have no limits there.
Yeah, I totally have to.
Which is also weird in a league.
Basically, Estonians are not foreigners here?
No.
Okay. But Latvians are foreigners in Estonia.
Latvians are foreigners in Estonia. Interesting. Which is funny to me.
Yeah, I think this was the. Actually, I don't know the exact reason.
But, I know the reason. The reasoning is
Protect
to
Estonian-
protect the Estonian market.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
two Latvian
But
players
then
and
the
everything.
Estonian salaries go,
Yeah,
they're
of
already gone really high, and your point was correct in that case.
Unfortunately, when we pursued Stefan Vox 2 years ago, we couldn't manage him. But yeah, he would not be a legionary, foreign player here. Yeah, great. Sim, what I'm hoping now, I would say like this: this was the most dominating season for Latvians. Mostly, I will not exaggerate it, but mostly thanks to us, because we came into league. And we got like second place in Latvian national championships in our first year, and all Latvian clubs a bit okay. Hey, listen, how it's possible? Some new kids come and
Everybody increased their budget.
Everybody a bit raised their budget and players, so Latvian clubs became stronger. Like Valmiera for sure, and VEF, no words. Ogre still good level. Ventspils maybe a bit less level, but still there. Ventspils 10-time Latvian champions. Liepāja became stronger. I hope that this year that Estonian teams only 2 advanced for playoffs will also be like a kick to your butts, and your clubs will also, hey, listen, we cannot do like this. That only 2 teams are in playoffs, and they will attract more money and get better rosters and become stronger. I hope that next year will be like that.
Since we just touched on only 2 Estonian teams making the playoffs, I was watching a vlog from the final, which Andris Grīnbergs did. He was interviewing Salvis there, the Latvian league director. And what Salvis said was that I think after Kalev lost to Zeļļi in game 3, the day after, there was a meeting between all Estonian clubs, and they were deciding on what to do to compete with Latvians. Is it true? And do you know with what they did come up, or?
To be honest, I'm hearing this for the first time, but
Okay,
of course
so-
I cannot say 100% that this is wrong info. But yeah, this comes from me for the first time. But maybe somewhere in the basement.
It was all clubs only meeting, or
Yeah,
with federation?
Estonian clubs meeting or something with
official.
Henri Ausma, I'm guessing. And yeah, because why I wanted to bring this up, because basically both Rapla and was it Taltek or Parnu, because they were basically just 1 or 2 wins away from the playoffs. And just imagine if they win, we have 4 and 4 teams from both countries. So it wouldn't look that bad in that case. Like I'm just not trying to say that something catastrophic has happened for Estonian basketball.
Yeah, but after the regular season ended, also we made a lot of criticism in our podcast as well, and there was quite a lot of talk about the only 2 teams advancing, and a lot of people said that we were a little bit unlucky, that Taltek and Rapla, as you said, didn't manage to be in the playoffs. But in my eyes, actually, the playoffs showed the difference, because if Tartu is eliminated in the quarterfinals, Kalev is eliminated in the semifinals, then you have to realize you cannot hide anymore, and you have to say that situation is not good.
They just lost to one very good team. They just lost to one very good team. They got unlucky.
I agree. And
that's not a big problem. They just
and you're right, actually.
They crushed on Lakers. No, just not to exaggerate the level of ourselves, because we also lost to finals. But I think the biggest challenge of this league is how to make mid-country games more interesting to public. Now, after this year's playoffs, I guess our matchups against Kalev will be even more recognizable in Latvian society. Even we can attract even more spectators, because everybody knows Kalev, because it was the biggest news. We came down from -18, because let's be honest, we got a bit lucky, so it's not so big problem, because Kalev is still a very strong team. And also Tartu competed with us very hard, and they were seed number 6, we were seed number 3. It was a bit logical that they lost to us in playoffs. I think
Tartu was up in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and so basically I would say in the playoffs was not the biggest problem, that only 2 teams advanced. Maybe this is a bigger problem. And also our games against Tartu also could be more soldable in Latvia, sellable, because everybody knows. So we need these playoffs. We need these 3 game.
Rivalries with Estonian.
Correct, exactly.
It's much easier for our marketing to get spectators to Latvian club games instead of Estonian. That's our marketing's biggest challenge this year.
Also, we hear the same about you guys in Estonia. That for you, it's more easy to get more spectators on national club level games. So basically, yeah, this is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
How to attract spectators to Zeļļi, Lat-Est, Liepāja, Rapla, and etc.
Yeah, exactly. For example, if Lat-Est has an average of 500 persons per season, if Liepāja comes to play, Ogra comes to play, then it's usually 200, 300. That's the case like for the whole 7 seasons. And this is like a big thinking point for our clubs as well, that how to make those Latvian teams more familiar, those players more familiar, make those, etc.
And the key would be advancing to playoffs, some great series like we had against Tallinn, Kalev, or against Tartu. Rivalries are born. And next season, it's easier to sell.
I don't know how Tartu and Kalev fans view us. Is it even measurable?
At least
our basic fans now. These are the two clubs. I'm pretty sure for next year, it will be easier to sell tickets.
We saw that in Kalev matches, the gym was full. So at least Kalev knew how to sell us. Tartu, we were disappointed in the only matches. We thought that there should be more people to quarterfinal match, probably do or die game for Tartu, yeah. But still, the gym was a bit half empty. But Kalev sold us. I heard both games were sold out.
Yeah, that's how Estonian sports fans because, as you know, before your series against Tartu lost the last regular season game against Latvian University, drops to 6th place. And actually, Tartu's fans had a little kind of protest in the home game against you guys. So it was a bit logical that the gym was a bit empty.
But just to not talk only about Zeļļi from Latvian teams, can you maybe characterize how Estonians view both Zeļļi, Rīga, Ventspils, Liepāja, Ogra, and University of Latvia or LU? Do you have like some sort of a stereotype or something about each of those teams?
Yeah, I think
in maybe a couple of words, how Estonians view those teams.
Yeah. Some I have. Ogra is known for like bullies for Estonian teams, for Estonian public, for Estonian teams.
Bullies.
They are bullies. Bullies.
But they are playing like bullies. No, everybody.
There is actually like a sentence that before you start thinking about going to play abroad, go play in Ogra, and then we're gonna see if you're gonna go play abroad or something like that.
So how did Vox perform there? In Ogra, not against them, but in Ogra.
I think well. I think he performed well.
He performed well in most of games.
By the way, you have a good one there for the future, Estonian basketball.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
with this one I have to agree.
And unfortunately, he will leave Latin Estonian League. Unfortunately for league, good for you, for Estonian basketball.
Yeah, I think it will. Those Estonian playoff games will be his last games in Estonian league for his career. Let's see.
That's unless he's 40 years old and maybe wants to finish at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Valmo Grīsa playing until he's 40 something. No.
Okay, Simo Ogra bullies. What about other clubs?
Yeah, about other teams. Liepāja usually wants to shoot with first 5 seconds, right? Or 6 seconds.
Okay.
Having like 80 offenses.
So basically, Artur Sisoskis Rubenis is like Mike D'Antoni.
Okay.
I disagree a little bit, but okay.
Good comparison.
Like Estonian
Ventspils is like Ventspils is our Paris, right? Our Paris, playing this modern basketball under Vogels. Come on, you have to give credit to those Latvian university guys. This is great stuff. We always talk about it in Estonia. I talk about it in my podcast. People in Estonia already think that I have some connections with Latvian University, but come on, half of the Ogra team is from Latvian University, and
we stole their best guys. We stole their best 2 guys when we
doing a good job.
I mean,
now Riga took their best guy, Alexandros, in mid-season.
And the most, you probably know this, but the most amazing part is they usually take guys that nobody even pays attention. And in 2 years, that's some sort of a player. That's
that's amazing.
Really amazing.
Also, you can confirm, but I think these are like, like not kind of, A-level youth players in Latvia. This is like a B-level, C-level. And as you also said, that
very rarely
they're
get
growing
A-level.
them. Yeah, and they get A-level, exactly. But when they go to Latvian University, I think majority of them are not like, big prospects or something like that. So, I don't know. What about you guys?
And
Zeļļi.
Oh, Zeļļi and Vef. Zeļļi and Vef.
Yeah, Zeļļi. So, yeah, big guys also here in Estonia, like how you came to the league, This was like people opened their eyes, not only I think in Latvia, but also in Estonia, like a fresh air, and also you are really competitive. So congrats for making it to the final. Actually, I wanted to ask one question, as I'm also running a pod, and I'm used to asking questions. What's the longer and bigger plan for Zeļļi team?
You want the president
kind of
you want the president or the general manager to?
Yeah. Edgars, give your vision.
We have big plans. So
EuroLeague.
Yeah, we final of Latin Estonian League is only a big first step for us. We want to become champions of this league one day, also champions of Latvia, and we want to play on European stage, and we'll see when and how, but most likely in nearest time, maybe even already next season, we will start to play in some Euro Cups, and we will try to grow step by step, because our vision is that we cannot make shortcuts. Usually shortcuts give you big bumps, and then there are a lot of experiences in Latvia, and club starts very strong, and after 3-4 years it goes bankruptcy.
Since I'm a journalist, that's a neutral person who doesn't work for the club but only is in the show, I have to ask Edgars, will the Latvian playoffs decide whether it's going to be Champions League or FIBA Europe Cup or ENBL for Zeļļi next season?
They can decide a lot of things, for the next season. So we'll see how summer goes. Of course, we'll see how we finish Latvian National League, and then we proceed from that.
I mean, we are two people running the club and two very different personalities. I do the sports part, mainly. And I can give you more precise goal from my side, how I would like on sports side Zeļļi to look. And of course, it's very much read and react and keeping it realistic and not overstepping next step. That's the main part, is to make this thing for 10-20 years instead of exploding for 3 and then bankrupting. But in, I don't know, 5-10 years future, I would like to see Zeļļi playing in Eurocup. I would like to see that we have in Latvian Estonian League very strong second team where we could gather not only Latvian but Latvian, Estonian, maybe some Scandinavian talents, and give them a jump before jumping to NCAA, because that's a huge thing now. And have a real youth structure under us, because for now we're just a professional club with second league club, and that's it. But what we are on agreement, we're gonna go very step by step and try not to overstep any.
So Artur's told me that we are different personalities, that he's more grounded than I am a bit, but now he gave a completely controversial goal, like Euro Cup, second team in Latin Estonian League.
I mean, Siim asked our goal.
NBA Europe League.
I have no idea what's gonna happen with that.
But one more thing, guys. What with the gym? A bit same story with Kalev Cramo, that you play in different gyms, or there's something special hidden?
Can I ask you why Kalev Cramo doesn't have their own gym?
It's a good one. I don't have a correct answer for that, because they have talked about it like 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
20 years. And there are some projects, some stories, some rumors, but still anything hasn't happened.
Edgars, give the gym
But
story.
what about with you guys?
The same for us, but we are only 2 years.
Years.
So we are young. We are young. Give us a bit more time.
Okay.
Basically, there is a
But where
goal.
are you
also.
training? Where are the
We are
practices?
training in Turiba University.
We have very
I
good
know.
university partner, and our practice facilities for what we need, I think, are perfect.
Yeah.
That part is very.
But in long
stable.
term, we want to, of course, build something also for us. Maybe in partnership with some other organization. Maybe we'll not go into detail, but now, but
In short term, we have to play in Daugava. That's the only viable option because Olympic Center is inhabited by Latvian University, VEF, and TTT, so it would be just weird to
Previously Prometei
play.
also.
And previously Prometei.
Daugavas Sportanams is perfectly fine for Latin Estonian League.
Or now, yeah. And
Or now, at least, but for
sport is
Kalev, final Kalev match, we got like 700 spectators on 500 seats. So there was a lot of standing people in audience. So maybe if all the games were so good sold as Kalev matches, we need to think something out. But now it's perfectly fine for Latin Estonian League.
Edgars, maybe you can also explain to Seaman Estonian side why Zeļļi played some games in Rēzekne, why you played in Cēsis and some other cities around Latvia.
The reason was these games versus Estonian clubs, because Riga audience is a bit snobbish. A lot of things are happening in Riga, sports, national teams, hockey, basketball, football. Now RFS advanced to Europa League group stage, right? Ajax was here and Galatasaray was here, football clubs. So a lot of things happening in Riga, and to compete with them with Latin Estonian League matches versus Estonian clubs, it's not so easy. So, yeah, we played in Cēsis, for example, which is for Rapla, is very good. Shorter distance, Rapla fans came. For Tartu, Rēzekne is closer than Riga. So Rēzekne was super happy to host us, and for Tartu is closer. And we were happy as full gym was there. Keila KK was like last team in standings, and it was very hard to sell it in Riga. So yeah, we moved this game to Rēzekne. Rēzekne was again happy, and then for Keila maybe it was a bit more traffic to go, but we negotiated it. We gave them free dinner after match from our side. Yeah, we are good hosts. So yeah, this is the reason why we're playing outside Riga, because Riga is full of events, and unless you have like big event as big team or some playoffs, or we decided that probably we'll continue like that. Because Rapla in Cēsis is already like a tradition, like Valmiera. We play against Valmiera in Cēsis.
But that's on Independence Day, so...
It's on Independence Day. Cēsis city has some history.
I have to say our coaches are not loving this.
Our coaches would like to play in Daugava Sportanams all the time. Coaches. Less traffic, less changes. But we have pushed our coaches that, hey, sometimes you need to follow organization.
This is marketing decision.
Yeah.
By the way, do Estonian teams pay attention to this, or even fans that sometimes they play Zeļļi, but they won't get to visit Riga for the weekend or something, and they have to go to Rēzekne or Cēsis, or is that not a problem at all? How would you view it?
I think it's not. It's not a big problem until the games are in Daugavpils or something like that.
Rēzekne is not very far from Daugavpils. I guess for Rapla fans. I guess for Rapla fans, I heard that it's easier for them. Rapla Cēsis is how many kilometers?
No idea, but
100 with something. There are a lot of Rapla fans in Cēsis in both years.
Because Estonian teams actually. Couple of years ago also played their home games in like different regions in Estonia, and it's like popular also in Estonia, and I think it's good for both basketballs that you know.
And listen, guys, there were Keila KK fans were in Rēzekne. They were around 30 and they were super loud.
Yeah,
and they pushed our fans in Rēzekne to become louder. So kudos to Keila KK fans. It's like how many kilometers? 400 or 450. But still they came, they partied, they were in great mood, and they still lost. But anyway, atmosphere was really good.
But
hats off.
We moved off from the previous topic. I think you had one last team you had to give a stereotype on. I think it was VEF. And LU too, or
Hello already, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think VEF is the most difficult to describe. I think the main thing what comes into my mind is that they don't have like any kind of big fan base, at least in my eyes. Those years we have played this league. Otherwise, actually nothing much to say about them.
And also Valmiera. There was one more
Valmiera,
club, yeah, Valmiera we missed.
Yeah, Valmiera. I heard that it has been a big mess in those last years. That's what I have heard, and fortunately, Mazurs came, and they are doing a lot better. But when I was a young player, we always in September had a youth tournament in Valmiera. So I have been there like 10 plus times. So I know that it's a big basketball city, and a lot of good Latvian basketball players have born there and have played there in their youth.
Roland Schmidt's currently probably most notable, right, from Valmiera.
Directly from Valmiera, yes.
but from the region also.
Yeah, Bertans
There are a lot
brothers,
of
right?
guys.
Yeah.
You know about the mysterious Ruinas, small city that produces players like every third guy is EuroLeague guy that is born there?
Yeah. Christians has told me about this amazing, mysterious city.
Maybe, guys, we can give our quick opinion about Estonian clubs.
Yeah, go ahead.
But okay, go
You
ahead.
sure what you want to do it?
Okay,
no, I'm not
I'll
ready.
start with Rapla.
I will let him speak.
No. One sentence. Let's say Rapla probably is the loudest fans of them all. At least they came to Cesis.
Okay, Rapla, I want to comment because when you have good things to say, you can. Rapla to me is the best. At least maybe last year Jak had some problems, but in the last 10, 15 years, I think that's one of the best examples in Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. The way how they attract so many small sponsors and the way they function. To me, that is the long-term way to go. How they work, but you need a crazy guy.
Basically, but
boss
he's an example to us because we follow his footsteps. Maybe a bit bigger scale because we are from Riga, and we attract bigger sponsors and maybe not 50, but still I counted it. We have 36 now. 36 sponsors, including technical sponsors. So it's quite.
When I was doing podcast my own, I always put Rapla as example. That like.
So yeah, basically Rapla and Jak is an example. Artur's told me about him like I don't know 5-10 years ago. You told me about him. So yeah, we a bit took the idea from him, but a bit in a bigger scale, Riga level scale.
It helps us, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we are from capital with more inhabitants, etc. More money here. What else? Okay, Kayla situation.
Oh, Edgars, I have to say one thing about Rapla. You know how many people live in Rapla, in the city?
100.
Approximately.
100.
No. Actually, it's 5,000. But yeah, I have to take hats off to Jak because in a 5,000 city, having a budget in I think their top year like 700, 800, crazy guy.
Crazy.
Amazing
This is
guy.
crazy.
I'll give Tartu. I have told them to personally, so they will not be offended, I hope. I think the biggest potential for major basketball hub in Latvia, Estonia, for sure. But I don't think they are realizing all the potential, especially on the men's team.
I would
Amazing
say,
youth program.
I would say Tartu, biggest cons is gym. It's on pros. Gym, it's really great. Great.
Schools in English,
And it's
university,
city,
amazing.
university.
And for us, it's very hard gym. We have visited it 3 times and lost all 3 times. So yeah, it's not easy to win in Tartu.
But for Tartu, I'm not focusing only on men's professional team. As a club altogether, I see huge potential in Tartu. They're doing a lot of good things, but I think they can do even much better.
A bit strange, of course, situation in Kela. You can elaborate on that because it seems a bit weird to have 2 teams from one small city in Estonia. Maybe they cannot come together and create stronger team.
You hear us? I think you lost us.
Es uzrakstīšu slītas.
Theme? You hear us? No?
Sim, you hear us?
It's a really dramatic situation here. Relationships, somehow relationship end up like this. It's a really, really long story. I have told Christians about it, so yeah, the connection is.
Wait,
Now I hear you again.
I was reading Estonian
I
Delphi.
hear you guys. You hearing me?
Yeah, we hear it.
I was reading Estonian Delphi a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and
I hear you. I hear you.
There was another scandal in
But
Kayla.
you're not hearing me, yeah?
We do.
No, we do
I
hear
think
you.
there's some delay. There's
Okay.
some delay because he's answering to our questions we asked 15 seconds ago.
Maybe we can give all the club so we don't have to go back and forth since the delay is here. I think to me, Taltech is not very. I don't have anything too much to comment. I mean, I like that they have some identity. It's a university club that plays with Estonian players. They have their own university game, which was the best game this year. And Kalev is the big Estonian brand. I mean, I think they have achieved. I don't want to comment too much on the fans' side, but on basketball court, they are generally overachieving in Europe every year and playing really good locally.
I would say they have a pretty solid fan base, Arturs, because more than 100 Kalev fans came to Riga in our mutual game. Also, both games were sold out in playoffs and a great atmosphere, super loud. They were super fanatic. I would say Kalev Cramo teams have pretty good fan base.
But
also our game in Tallinn on January 4, remember, it's a full gym. So yeah, I would say that we could.
But for Kalev, this is probably going to make Estonian headlines. I think they lost Heiko, and in my opinion, the best coach now in Latvia and Estonia. Period. Really love his work. I mean, I think he's going to do amazing things.
Yeah, the results, speak by themselves. And hats off to Kalev Cramo's marketing team, doing a wonderful job. Basically, like, I don't know, 2 persons over there. So in that wise, they are overachieving. But yeah, the fan base is not like too big. But I think maybe the same problem with maybe VEF, a big city, a lot of sports teams, a lot of different things to do, but they are growing. As Edgar said, like 100 people came to Daugava gym.
Even more, probably even more.
Who would you say is the main sports team in Tallinn? Is it Kalev Cramo or is it some football team? Like Flora, yeah.
It's still Kalev Cramo for sure, because basketball is number 1 in Estonia, that's for sure. Not because I'm a basketball guy, but still basketball is the biggest thing, as you can see with our national team as well.
For us in Latvia, like
it's hard to admit.
Yeah, for us in Latvia, some 5 years ago till 20 years ago, it was obviously Dynamo Riga, which was playing in Continental Ice Hockey League. It was the most popular club in Latvia. Now we basketball fans, we can compete Zeļļi, but now the main club in Riga is Riga RFS. Undeniably, RFS has done an amazing job. They advanced, as I said, to Europe League group phase, and now they are like one step above, or even 2 steps above other clubs in Latvia.
Wait,
they are the team to catch, or club to catch.
We had some connectivity issues. I think now Arturs can go back to his to him characterizing the Estonian clubs.
I already did. Should I do it again?
Okay. But the opinion about both Kayla teams.
Okay, that's to me a weird situation. I don't even know what to comment. Would make sense to make one club there, but I know also something about their inner fights. Sometimes that happens. Hopefully they resolve it and can do one thing.
Sim, can I ask you about clubs? What do you know about future plans? So are all 8 teams coming back next season? Is somebody else approaching? Maybe Rakvere can come back to Latvian Estonian League. What do you know?
Then they will take Coach Umbrashko.
Ooh.
There's a contract for next year.
Yeah, I think they had a meeting like a month ago, and basically all 8 teams said that they're ready to play next season also. About adding teams, ex-national team player Reinar Hallik from 2nd division had a plan to join our league with his team already in the summer, but he didn't get a watch. He had the same plan when this season started, but for now it's been quite quiet from their side. They also lost the first semi-final in the second division, so they have to finish at least top 3 to be eligible to at least think about joining the league.
So, in my opinion, the best now it would be 18 teams in Latin Estonian League.
18.
18, yeah, 18. 15 is too less. 18 it would be make 36 regular season, 34, excuse me, 34.
Like EuroLeague.
Yeah, it would be great. So maybe 2 teams from Latvia if he can add, and 1 from Estonia. It would be great. But
just
I want to get back to Sim's first point, the schedule. I'm in basketball my whole life, and it has been explained to me several times. But I still don't understand why we cannot just make Excel table and like round 1 every week we have 1 game, round 2, round 3, round 4.
like in football?
Like in any normal league.
Okay.
like in ACB or Serie A.
I don't really understand the challenge in that. Every club picks a date and let's start first week of October and just go symmetrically.
We should start earlier if you want to play one game per week.
Maybe somebody here knows the answer to this question.
One thing from Estonian side, which makes it problematic, is because a lot of teams from our side don't have their own gym. They don't have the rights, I want to play on this date or I want to be on this date. Of course, they have some rights over there. For example, Taltech has their own gym, so they basically decide when they play. But it's not the same with all the teams. And as you know, this Keila clash, Keila Kuulbet basically didn't allow Keila KK to play in the gym. So they had 1 game in Rakvere, I think, against Rapla, and they played against you in Mariama, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a tricky, and I think those European competitions mess it up also, where VEF is playing, Cramo is playing, Pärnu is playing, Tartu and Keila and Valmiera have this North European League, etc. So, but I still agree with Artur. It has to be, it has to improve. Still, it has to improve.
We can make schedule
this
today.
Also,
and start.
Artur, yeah, of course, it's not so easy again as with national teams.
I understand, of course.
Not so easy again.
But I think we need an even number of teams, because as Sim said, 8 teams from Estonia are staying, and as of now, it looks like we will have 7 Latvian teams, like we did this year, with University of Latvia staying in the next season. So I think to play a game a week, I think we need an even number of teams, just so that some teams don't miss it out.
I think the biggest challenge is Eurocups, because it's not so easy. Agnis Pērkons, our main referee for I don't know how many years. Probably he's refereeing more years than we are born, but still, it's not so easy with all these gyms, Eurocups, etc. But yeah, problem is that Kalev Cramo in one moment really had like 9 games played, and we had like 16 or something like that.
Okay.
Too big difference. It can be 2-3 games.
Obviously, we have a bad gym situation. We don't have a gym. But
Today
somebody told me you have to reserve, like this is the schedule. You think we can do it?
Today nobody has schedule, because.
Okay, but if they give us today, we start.
But in July we can do it. I guess. But problem with schedule was that Kalev Cramo is usually playing in qualifying rounds. If they advance, then they have Champions League with one schedule. If they don't advance, then they have FIBA Eurocup with another schedule. It was also a big challenge for schedule makers. I heard usually from Latvian schedule maker like Agnis Pērkons that the Kalev Cramo is always the biggest challenge, because till the last moment they don't know in which European competitions they will play. It's not bad. It's good for us that our league has European level teams, and then they know Eurocup, Champions League, and then they start making schedule, and it's a big mess.
Yeah,
another thing. If VEF Riga would advance to European Champions League top 16, there would be a big mess again in the second round of our regular season, because they would have extra days. Now, add 6 more VEF Riga games to all this schedule.
I will give the other argument. ACB has 18 teams. I don't know, they have 9 or 10 Euro Cup teams. Also, some advance to somewhere, don't advance to somewhere. They somehow manage it every year.
Arturs, they play only on weekends, as most European national championships.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. I agree. Only play on only weekends. Let's say from Friday to Sunday, and like how many? 28 weekends.
And maybe some teams on Monday, like it's in Lithuania.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? Then we can. Then everything is doable.
But okay, moving on from the schedule, what do you guys think? Should we introduce a play-in tournament for the next season? What's the opinion on this in Estonia, since 2 of the teams were just behind the playoff line?
No play-in for me, because I think we have to value the regular season, as we only have 15 teams. This play-in is, like a modern thing used in EuroLeague, because also in the NBA, of course, the competition is so tight there. We can say the same about our league. So no play-in for me from my side.
I would disagree. I would say that imagine these last matches, Liepāja Ventspils against Rapla, and who was number 10?
I think
Altec.
Altec.
It would be great
Altec and
matches.
Rapla.
It would be Ventspils against Liepāja for 7th seed, then again Pārnu Altec winner against the loser of this match. It would be great matches, great 1 week.
But I get Seam's point.
I get it. Yeah,
Because I don't know. Let's take Ventspils for example. They managed to get to the playoffs in a normal way through the regular season, and then they have to play the play-in game, and Artur Sausais is out.
Is what to do.
Yeah.
Injuries are part of our business. I would say playing is now one of the best new things in modern basketball.
I think the
in
Polish
whole leagues.
league also has it, where
Also Germany.
yeah, Germany too. Yeah.
But yeah, also it with scheduling, it's 1 extra week then at least.
To me, this
Or
is not
schedule.
make or break situation. It's no strong opinion. Either way, I'm fine.
Then next question: should we change the format? Teams are playing series in quarterfinals and series in semifinals, but just 1 game in the final. Should we switch back to Final Four, or should we stay with the format that was used in this past season?
If I can answer from our experience, definitely this year's playoffs were success. Full gyms in both Kalev matches, full gym in Daugavas Sportam semifinal. New record in final, because for example, if Final Four would be in Tallinn, set. VF Riga against Rīgas Zeļļi final, of course, not so many spectators. So, seems that if we still have national championship playoff series in front of us, like in Estonia and Latvia, the final should be 1 game, because it's a bit different than series, and it attracts a lot of attention. 1 game, 1 winner, 1 champion, do or die. This was the best moment in Riga club basketball for how many years?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I agree. If we take away the option that I would like in fantasy world, and from these 2 options, love the system. Very good.
What do you say, Sim?
Yeah, have to agree as well. Good points by Edgars. The format, I think, is the best we could use at the moment. I don't believe in those Final Fours. I think it just lacks attendance. At the end of the day, it might lack attendance, as it was like, I think, when we had this last Final Four in Tallinn, when VEF played with Promethlei and Kalev played the bronze game with Tartu. It was empty. You never know who's going to be there, who's going to organize it. So I think it's tricky with those Final Fours.
What's good point, as you said.
Regular season matters.
Yeah, regular season matters, Sim, as you said. Win for VF Riga gave them chance to organize this home game. It was a lot of spectators, and of course, obviously, we Rīgas Zeļļi would be happy to sell tickets for this match. But now VF Riga, it was VF Riga home match, and well deserved, because they won regular season. That's why you fight in regular season. You don't leave anything to playoffs. So I think this is currently the best format.
Whoever thought of this format, kudos to him. Really good job.
From Estonian side, what do you think are some of the biggest issues with the league? other than the ones we just discussed? Like, I don't know, TV translations, with TV streams, referees, game balls, or whatever comes to mind.
I think with TV, I can of course only talk from our side, but I must say we have those Delphi games and also those TV games in Inspira, I think, which are pretty nice overall quality. Of course, you always want like a better product, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that it has to correlate with the product that players are showing on the court. Of course, you have to pay for the games appearing in Estonia, in Delphi, as the opposite games in Latvia are for free. I think this is a problem. With referees, you know, there will be always problems. 7 seasons, same problems. Latvians not satisfied by playing in Estonia and the opposite. But guys, you already know it will be the same as always.
I mean, I have to. I think that, again, unpopular opinion, referee level is higher than the player level. So to me, it's very weird that we bring this as a big issue. Of course, in games we are angry at every game. That's normal, but
if we win, everything's all right.
I don't see any problem with referees. I think they're doing a spectacular job.
I think to blame referees is a side of weakness, and of course, within our club, sometimes after some tough losses, we are like, sending some texts to league director or somebody else. But let's say next morning you wake up and you are in calmer state, and you are a bit maybe sometimes ashamed of yourself, yeah, because. Most likely players lose a game and not referees. So of course some mistakes happen, but in 90%, 95 or 99% of matches, it's in both ways.
I will not mention any names, but I've talked to players from Latvian teams, and there are a couple of referees that are trying to be the main guys in the game, and I don't think that that's what should be done, and they should change not the way they act. Let's say that.
And about moving to different topic, you said TV. Of course, it would be great to have one TV platform. For example, Go3 would be.
Go3 is the one that works in.
Yeah, Go3 works in all Baltic states. But as I have spoken to Latvian representatives in Go3, everything should be in Excel in pluses. So basically, if Go3 wants to produce these games, they need to know that exact or appropriate amount of new signings they will get from showing these matches in both countries. So basically, what I wanted to tell that they are showing Lithuania Krepšinis League matches that they know that a lot of LKL fans will buy membership in Go3 in Lithuania. They need to have this perception that thanks to showing Latvian Estonian League, a lot of new subscriptions there will be in Latvia and Estonia, and unless they feel that way, they will not.
So it means we have to create better product.
Precisely, correct.
Unfortunately,
better product on the court and also off the court. Around the court. League should be more popular.
Our media partners, Delphi and this TV channel Inspira, putting a lot of money, a lot of effort actually in our production, and I think there is quite a long contract with both of them. So yeah, but yeah, those kind of difficulties, which is really difficult to handle.
By the way, I often see that there's the studio interviews, but the Estonian guys are not inviting our players or coaches for those. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's actually a good one, but
you should promote.
As I'm covering basically the 7th season already, the TV games. At some point, we made the decision because, to be honest, there have been some problems with Latvian team coaches. You probably know the names. I don't need to tell the names. But if you go before the game, you go to the coach, you agree, coming to the interview after the game. And after the game, he says, "Oh, go talk with the refs." What's the point of taking those interviews or even talking with those people? And again, about.
We should introduce some
that's
fines.
That's actually the reason.
Yeah.
To be honest,
in the NBA.
These should be the issues clubs are talking about. Like every team has a couple of talkative people. I know in our club we can easily send our coach, we can send a couple
Assistant
of players, and they will give really good interviews in English. And if it's agreed before the season, you'll know which guys are the media guys in every team. And at least in our club, I'm sure that we would be very harsh against somebody who does this crap.
But shouldn't league also impose sanctions against such coaches?
It's not league. It's league sanctioning clubs, and clubs can do whatever with their coaches. Sanction them or
league
pay from their budgets.
Like, I don't know,
But
a 50 euro.
It's like a media guy.
a 50 euro fine for just not coming
There
to
should
the
be a
interview,
media
because it
guideline
is
for
the
clubs.
image of the league.
Yeah, media guidelines for the
I would
club.
be happy that our guys go to, let's say, in Tartu. I just saw the very nice set there. I mean, if somebody
Because
goes
actually, we have had some nice interviews. Your coach, Juris, I know really well. Actually, he came for the interview when you had this regular season game in the start of the season. I've had some nice interviews with Dargais, who I also know quite well from 3x3 basketball. So if you know that those guys, even if they lose, they come. It's really easy to negotiate with them. So I have no problems making interviews in English. So yeah. But yeah, it's a good point. Maybe the league should put some kind of a media
guideline,
manual,
right? Media manual, right?
For sure. Yeah. That's a really
then
good
again,
point,
like on our side, we don't really have any studios or something like that. Only in the playoffs, so it's also an issue. But then again, you can see Latvian games for free.
Question to opposite direction. I said that the best would have 18 club league, with round robin system with 34 matches, but to avoid uncompetitive matches, maybe we should go opposite direction. Let's say 12 club league is the best 6 only Estonian clubs and 6 from Latvia, super professionals.
Introducing minimal budget
to raise the average level of each game. What do you think about such idea?
If I'm really honest with Estonian basketball, then I think at the moment we don't have players for 8 teams. Actually, I think if you look at the games, look at our rosters, you see it. I think we have enough players, enough Estonian players, and if we count the foreigners, like we can have 4 foreigners. I think we right now we have like players for 6-7 teams. This is our reality. The thing that we have 2 Keilas, this is like a different battle. But yeah, we from the spot in teams, okay, except maybe Kalev, Tartu, player 9th, player 10th, player 11th. This is not this league level anymore. That in my eyes, just in my eyes.
Yeah. So basically, if both Keilas come together, probably it's easy. It's hard to say which club to cut more. Yeah, because nobody.
Yeah.
But Coolbet was the first one, I think.
No, but
No.
Oh, bureaucratically, it's slippery way to start talking about it.
Okay, on paper, Keila KK is the first club, but actually it was Coolbet with Pep Pav.
Actually,
on
paper, Christians, KK is the original.
On paper, But the first one in the league was Coolbet.
No.
Yeah.
Basically, Pep Pav, they played.
But
it's a mess.
Is playing with Pep Pav is playing. Coolbet is playing with this Tallinna Kalev license.
So too much.
Okay, not both, but
Listen, guys, we are talking too much about Keilas. What I'm leaning to, because we should avoid such results as plus 50 or minus 50 in our league, and to avoid that, we need to raise the level of all clubs.
But it's two-end sort of situation. I agree it would increase the level, but on the second time you have to leave the door open for crazy people.
Yeah. Otherwise, Rīgas Zeļļi would not be in a club.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't not be in a league. Excuse me.
And you need these crazy people to do this. It's not normal idea to make a basketball club. You have to be a little bit off in the head.
So guys,
basically that was connecting me and Artur's.
guys, who had this one? Let's make Rīgas Zeļļi. Artur's, Edgar.
This guy.
Okay. Me together with some friends had some cocktails and were too brave.
Some cocktails.
Crazy enough idea not to leave it behind. Next morning, next morning Usually you wake up and you
that's
are,
how
oh
those
my
tickets
God.
happen.
Wait, so
That's how those
Edgar,
things happen.
you know those memes with a pint of beer or something, and like after 2 you text your ex, after 3 you call random girl. So how many
5 you
drinks
make a
you
plan.
He
had?
was my random girl.
No, but how many drinks you had before?
Let's say, be honest, 3, 4. Because after eight idea is too crazy. But after 3, 4, it's the best ideas in the world, you know. We were crazy enough to write down, at least hypothetically, write down some concepts, and then we started to elaborate on that. Yeah. Of course, we will not go to 12 club league because we have to then cut 3 clubs. This is too harsh, too hard for somebody. Then Latvian University would, for example, say to Rīgas Zeļļi, you are the newest club, we cut you. So basically, no. Of course, we will stay at least 15, and the goal would be to get to 16, 18 would be the best, because I think in this region. And also from this schedule point of view, more than 34 matches.
18 teams, there is one objective problem. Lack of players. Then we would need to unlimited Ukrainians, Latvians, and Estonians. Then we could fill up 18.
And maybe Lithuanians.
And maybe even Lithuanians. I don't mind. I'm all for open market. It's just, I think, better for everyone. But yeah, I mean, I understand how for 8 Estonian clubs, if you close the market, it's a challenge.
What about Rakvere? Are they coming back in the nearest future? What have you heard about them?
Unfortunately, there's not much happening over there.
Yuri
the guy who ran the
Subrashko
team,
move away and Rakvere is done.
yeah, and everyone fell apart. Yeah, but yeah, basically, the guy who ran the team, and when Yuris was the head coach, after Yuris left, the guy basically didn't want to do it anymore, and basically there's one nice big gym, but nothing much more. So it's really unfortunate because second division team Kadrina, the reigning champions, are playing over there, second division games, and they have around 1,000 people
Really?
per game watching. But of course no ticketing, but still, you know, for second division it's a big
Amazing.
thing. But they're not coming up. There are some old players.
So basically,
and, you know,
the closest option in Estonia is this ex-national team player. Remind me his name.
Reinar
Reinar
Hallik.
Hallik.
Reinar Hallik, yeah.
He was very optimistic last year. I talked with him a lot and haven't spoken about this now.
Once he said, "Hey Arturs, can he do a club for 200,000 K?" And you said, 200,000. You said, "No, we need a bit more." And
Edgar, you don't even know. There was some plan in motion connected to us.
Really?
Yeah. But since they didn't come to Latvian Estonian League,
They would be, so what, Rakvere Zeļļi?
No name. But I know Reinar for a long time and like his philosophy, what he wants to do. He wants to play with young players. You know, that's something sometimes challenging to find the minutes for them.
As we know now.
Yeah, and
But actually, one team I really like in our second division, it's Estonian University of Agriculture. They won the regular season. They're players like, I don't know, a bit similar than Latvian University, but older guys, around 20 to 25 years old. So my dream is that this team would come up in some period, you know. But right now, no input on that they can come, because also those kind of second division bullies really like to train. So it would be like our own Latvian University in my eyes, at least. But let's see.
but
Guys, okay.
we really need those, let's say, player growing clubs, because it's for Latvian and Estonian basketball. It's a very healthy thing. It's okay if a couple of teams are winning 5-6 games per season.
Just so a club like Zeļļi could come in and steal your 2 best players.
I mean, exactly. Well, but I'm not talking only on our interest.
I'm kidding.
Hey, but
In general, in basketball.
it's normal. As I said, Alexandros moved from
of course,
Universitāte now to VF and has like 2 titles in 3 months. So, yeah, Universitāte is feeding big bears here in Latvia. What guys have you heard in Latvia? Is there anybody who wants to join?
For example,
I heard about
remember-
Gulbene.
I remember last off-season, there was this crazy Ukrainian guy, the richest guy in Ukraine, who had this idea to bring Budivelnik Kiev to Latvian Estonian League. He was imprisoned, unfortunately, but
Sorry for laughing. Yeah.
yeah, no, but I mean it's a fact. But no idea how it's progressing now. as Arturs already mentioned, crazy guys. He might get an idea one day and just decide to bring Budivelnik back.
Buki Gulbene, you heard such club in our second division. They were a long time first division, couple bronzes in their history. There was some crazy guy before me in Gulbene, Rip Mr. Egils Čakars. He made Gulbene on Latvian basketball map, and now they have ambitious head coach, our friend Raimons Gabrans, and he also said that Gulbene is wishing, at least let's say wishing, to come back.
The financial jump is huge.
Financial jump
from
is
30,
huge.
40,000 a year to
200 at least.
2 is very optimistic.
But for Gulbene it's doable.
It's I would say for 250, realistically.
Okay,
speaking.
250 at least, and 200 from them will be on bus spending to travel to Estonia.
We have the same issue. We have the same issue because this agriculture university head coach was yesterday on my podcast, and he said that their budget is around 35-40. And as you said, you know, you need at least, I think, 200 to compete in our league. So the jump is too brutal.
But guys, then I must a bit to say to these dreamers, if you want to play in the highest league, then 30,000 is ridiculous. Yeah? We are not competing about budgets. It's ridiculous. You have to get at least couple 100,000 euros, and then you can say, yeah, we are something close to professional club. How can you tell that you're a professional club if you have budget around 50,000 euros? So these dreamers have to do a bit better job. Sorry that I'm a bit harsh, but you have to be realistic. You have to know connections, or at least somebody who is willing to pay, or city council at least in Gulbene or in Tallinn's is agriculture university.
No, it's in Tartu actually.
Tartu actually. So basically, before start dreaming, there has to be some at least one big source of money, or it's city council or some rich guy or some university or something like that. Because otherwise, it's dreaming a bit. Because 30,000, it will not make a case.
Any more questions, guys, to Siim or Siim? Do you have any questions to Edgars or Arturs?
Who's going to win the Latvian championships?
You know that.
Only one answer. Only one answer. Yeah. You play to 3 wins or to 4?
Final to 4, semi-final to 3.
Okay.
We still
have to advance to final. So basically, our answer will be diplomatic. We have to get to finals. Firstly, it will not be easy. It will be tough semi-finals because Ogre bullies and Ventspils run and gun guys are playing pretty good. And so one of these teams they're playing now currently. They will play. Will start tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
They will start quarterfinal series, so they will be tough opponent. Once we advance to finals, then we can start speaking about some predictions. I would say it would be more diplomatic against other teams in Latvia.
No, I mean I don't think semi-final is going to be easy at all.
Absolutely.
No, we are not that rich or that strong as maybe we have. I believe we have overperformed the last 2 years, but of course the goal is to win. But Siim, I want to use your platform. My goal as a GM is to do a trade, do a first trade in this league. It's an open invitation for Estonian club GMs to give me a call and throw me trade ideas.
Hey, Arturs wanted to trade for Stefan Vaks, unfortunately unsuccessful.
Yeah, no trade.
So, guys, what happened with this? I know that you were in talks with Vaks, but why didn't he want to come? What was the?
So we were in talks twice. More specific, a little bit with his father, just a little bit more with his agent. First was 2 years ago after first game in Vimsi. I immediately called his agent to give information that we are ready to sign him anytime, basically during the season. He was 18 years old or 17 at the time, and he was in school or some very logical reason not to go to Riga.
Didn't want to skip algebra next day. So
and the second was after the first season, and I mean, honestly speaking, probably Kala was the more logical choice for him. And they left him on loan for the first part of the season. We tried, we didn't get him, and we're gonna keep trying getting the players that we want. And
Probably we're not gonna keep trying get Stefan Vaks now.
no, not him, but
'Cause it's
I have
a
nothing-
mission impossible.
I want to
now.
get some Estonian players on our team. I have some in mind, but I cannot tell out loud now.
You can guess.
I'm poker
Yeah,
face.
I have
not
some.
smooth.
I have some names in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I am
Let's
not.
keep them here.
Even though we have only one American guy, we don't have any policy what should be the number, or we just try to get the best players available that we think fit what we want to do.
But of course, we have agreed that main part of our club has to be Latvian players, because Latvian new generation players who can make next step through our club, like Skuja or Viksne or whatever, Skrinda.
By the way, we're not left with many categories of players that are available to us. I don't know if that's also true in Estonia, but for example, with guys that are 27 to 30 years old that I think could play in our team, we have to compete with Italian third and fourth leagues.
Romanian leagues.
Okay, Romanian league is objectively probably much richer than ours, but to me that's and they can afford to pay bigger salaries than we do, and so we lose some players, some Latvian players to some maybe to our viewers very weird level basketball, but those are our competitors in players market.
Yeah, we have the exact same problem. For example, Ranula wanted both Riisma and Mikk Jurkatam in Kalev Cramo, but they have their Italian passport. They went to A2 in Italy,
Okay, that's
and basically doubled their paycheck, and they just, that's the reality. So we have exactly the same problems.
Yeah, so for us, there is really no other choice than to sign 18 to 22, 23-year-old guys and hope it works out.
Tell about more about Ranula's situation. How many years he signed in Poland, in Legia?
He has guaranteed next year also. So yeah, let's see if he's gonna bring Rainbow as his assistant, and maybe Kalev Cramo will have a new head coach. Maybe Rainbow will continue with Kalev Cramo next season. So it's gonna be interesting. And I heard that Ranula wanted to have Skuja. I don't know if it's the reality.
Unfortunately for Ranula, his trade clause was already past date. And we had to refuse.
Interesting. Interesting.
We were not ready to let Skuja go.
I mean,
this season.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, Arturs, if you had to make a trade, Ranula asks for Toms Skuja, but you can get Ojārs Zeļļis from Legia. Would you do the trade?
Not this year.
At the time?
Yeah, at the time.
We didn't have Robert Ford at that moment.
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm open to all ideas.
Okay.
We would have to do some puzzles differently with other guys, but that sounds like a reasonable idea.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think Ojārs' salary is like 6 times bigger. That would be a little bit of a problem.
But just generally on paper.
Just as player for player, I love Toms, but we could manage somehow with that.
We'll see how next season goes and how summer goes.
Yeah,
probably a lot of things will be dependent on how we finish Latvian basketball league season, where we're gonna play next year, and a lot of decisions will come of this.
Without naming any names, how many players already have a deal for the next season?
6.
I think it's public. We can say the names.
Okay, you can also say the names.
6 guys.
Skuja, Vītols, Lācis, Raimo, Bērziņš and Viksne. 6 guys we have.
So basically the core players.
The core players we have signed for next year. They, of course, almost all have a buyout clause, so you never know. But
at least we don't need to build team from zero, like it was before year 1 and also before year 2, because we signed only 1-year contracts. Because nobody wanted to sign with us more than 1 year, because nobody knew what these guys gonna do. After first season, we were able to sign 2-3-year contracts with guys. So this is much easier to go in summer, at least when you have half a team and you need to pick other half than to sign 12 players again.
Maybe one last question.
That's great, guys. That's great, guys, because we don't have anything like this in our club basketball, unfortunately, right now.
Kalev
that
Cramo
you have 6 players already.
Kalev Cramo has, no?
No, maybe they have 1-2 players with 2-year contract, but
Dorbek and
I wouldn't be
Kurbas?
surprised if. No, they have I think 1 year. I think Kurbas will finish his career. His legs are done.
Dorbek still can play. He did a lot of damage to us. So defensively, especially, but also offensively, he scored some pull-up jumpers. We didn't expect so much.
One last question from me. As you know, Rīgas Zeļļi does this sort of moneyball approach in their recruiting process, basing a lot of things on analytics, looking through players and everything. First of all, has that been noticed in Estonia? The second question would be, how would you rate the recruitment of Zeļļi, especially of the foreign players? And third question would be, is there any team in Estonia that does something similar or is trying to do something similar? Because if I can add, I remember Rapla had a Spanish scout or something like that a couple of years ago, but I'm not sure if he's still with the team.
Answering your first question, of course, it has been seen because I think the reality is that you have to see the players who you have hired. Ford from this season, McCoy from this season, last season as well. Great players because you don't have a lot of foreigners, but the foreigners you take good guys, and it shows that there's a lot of analytics behind it. In Estonia. Okay, it could be better. It could be better. I think some teams also have good scouting, good analytics, and there are also the opposite because we have more foreigners than your teams have, and unfortunately the quality is not there. Of course, we have some good examples as well, but yeah, I think you're doing a great job. A lot of young Latvian players, and
we try to aim really high. Before signing Freimanis and Ford, we had 28 no's.
Just before seemed
couple no's signed then later NBA contract.
Just
they didn't fit our club.
Yeah,
they later signed an NBA contract, but didn't fit with us.
No, but a couple of moments before you joined us today, Arturs actually told everyone that Quinten Post from Warriors was basically close to signing with Zeļļi.
He was not close.
Okay.
We were talking with his agent.
Okay.
And he said, let's see.
But guys, the thing that you were after Stefan Vaks, let's be honest, this also shows that you're with open eyes and you're doing a great job because
that was not
this guy is something special because
he improved amazingly this season. He was good last season,
yeah, for sure.
He was like baby steps, and a big step. Like he was.
Because
Kalev Kramo didn't expect him to play for them. Then he joined them. Not only he played for them, he was the leader, obvious.
Actually, Ranula wanted him already in the summer, but as they took Suurork, then Ranula told Vaks that I will not take you because you will start to mess things up together, and you're not going to get the ball enough, and that's why he stayed in Viimsi. And talking about Vaks, as crazy as it sounds. Before coming to Viimsi, actually Raivis had to, convince Viimsi guys that please take this guy. No, not a single Estonian team was interested in Stefan Vaks.
This is how it always goes.
Before last season.
So basically, he improved. He's a bit late bloomer. Let's be honest. He improved drastically last season. He had some symptoms. He could be great, but only symptoms.
Best shooter in the
league. Now
he
was playing like sick in a good terms. Crazy. Yeah.
Best shooter Latvian Estonian league has ever seen or no? Stefan Vaks.
No. So we had Latvian Estonian league.
Latvian Estonian league
further back.
From 2018. Best shooter.
Einars Bagaskis didn't play in Latvian Estonian.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to.
Jalen Riley from VEF comes to my mind as a close comparison. He had 10 threes against Liepāja.
I wouldn't say Vaks is only shooter. He's a full package. He's long, he's athletic, he can drive, he can penetrate, he can create. It's not like he's just shooting.
For our league, he's kind of some sort of Doncic version.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Exactly. I just wanted to say that it's a bit a brutal comparison, but Estonian Doncic.
And it's definitely too narrow to call him shooter. He's much more
just about shooting ability.
Much more.
No, I never thought about him as a best shooter.
Okay.
Really?
But I would have to look the numbers up. I don't know. But a good question.
Yeah. We tend to look shooters as like a shooter who is really coming a lot of off screens and
no, but I mean he shoots also off the dribble and step back.
Let's say Auseis is a real shooter to me, like shooter.
Okay.
Plkst is a universal complete player.
I would say no, Auseis is a better shooter.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going shooter.
So Auseis already sent you text now. Don't call me ever. You, Stefan Vaks fan.
But okay, any last questions seem to Edgar's or Artur's or from your side, guys?
Maybe spectators have some questions.
Oh yeah.
They have answered only the question of the show. So.
Okay, let's not keep seeing much more. We already have podcast like more than 2 hours.
I have 2 small babies at home, so I have to go. But I want to compliment you guys, doing a hell of a job. Of course, it was nice meeting with you, Edgars, with Arturs, Christians. I already know, was nice seeing you, and thanks for having me. I think see you at the Eurobasket. I hope in August. Let's make a hell of a basketball party
prediction for 29th of August. I know who you're gonna pick, but I still want to hear it.
Better give prediction who is gonna come champions, medals and champions of Eurobasket. Too many candidates,
so late
right?
and so difficult. So difficult question.
Latvia first, Estonia second.
I really hope that we both advance, and I really hope that you do well at home because the playoffs are in Riga. I really hope you do well. I hope we do well and you do well as well.
I think our national teams are in good place now.
That's the political answer.
I mean, to be honest, Estonian national team is in the best place now since the 90s, as long as I can remember. Maybe the first ones with Rauno Pekka and who else was there?
Aivar Kuusma.
Maybe though they were on level that the Estonian national team is now, but I mean, really amazing young players.
And I think the best thing is that they are not peaking in this Eurobasket. They should peak in 29 if, of course, we qualify.
But still, I think they will be the dark horse of this Eurobasket.
Could be.
Is Stefan Vaks candidate of? Is Stefan Vaks candidate of a national team?
He will be the player.
Yeah, for sure. He already played in the. He played in the last window. He was in top 12 and. Because we have problems in the backcourt with Surorg and Rosenthal both having ACLs, so Vaks will be there.
Okay, thank you so much again, Siim, for taking the time to speak with us. So,
I would say, Aita ngumehed.
Good luck for the playoffs, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you. See you.
Bye bye.
Tā kā jā, tas bija Igauņu basketbola apskatnieks Siims Raudla, un mums te arī nedaudz spiež laiks, tā kā nolasīšu pāris jautājumus jums, kungi, un tad skatītāju konkursa noskaidrošanu, un tad arī, tā teikt, noslēgsim šo epizodi. Pāris jautājumu. Anatolijas Zaharos vaicā, vai nākamajā sezonā Zeļļi spēlēs jaunajā Rīgas hallē?
Atbildēšu droši vien es. Skatīsimies, kāda būs cenu politika. Nu, es domāju, ka kādu spēli mēs noteikti uzspēlēsim. Paskatīsimies, kā mums tur iet. Nezinu, kurā līgā. Tā kā šobrīd pārrakstu. Es domāju, ka kādu spēli spēlēsim noteikti, vai tā būs regulāra mājas spēle zāle. Kaut kāda sajūta, ka nē. Tomēr tās cenas viņiem pagaidām ir 2-3 lielākas nekā Daugavas sportnamā. Nu, jāgāž riņķī katrā spēlē Daugavā pret Kalevu. Ja tas sāks notikt, tad mēs apsvērsim, bet droši vien jau, ka katrā spēlē tā negāzīs riņķī. Tā kā varbūt paskatīsimies, kādā mēs spēlēsim Eiropas līgā, un varbūt kādu no starptautiskajām spēlēm mēs varētu spēlēt tajā zālē, patestēt viņu.
Jā, tad mums ir vēl viens tāds pats jautājums. ISO KD33 vaicā mīļākie 3 NBA spēlētāji. Varbūt varam katrs pa vienam.
Šobrīd?
Es iešu šobrīd.
Es teikšu, Karijs man.
Man ar atrāvienu šobrīd favorīti no esošajiem arī.
Stefs, jā?
Jā, 3.
Labi, tad es tieši Antonijs Edvards arī ar visu savu personību. Highlight mašīnu.
Man all-time Lebrons, bet šobrīd es teikšu Keits Cunninghams.
All-time Jordans.
Vai Francis Wagners.
Francis. Tieši nevis Francis, bet Francis. Lai mums vācim līdzīgs.
Ok. Tā. Artur, varbūt tu kā ģenerālmenedžers jau man kolēģis zvanīja, prasīja tev jautājums, tu jau uz līdzīgu jautājumu atbildēji. Jānis Raģels vaicā, kas par iemeslu Freimaņa minimālai izmantošanai no debijas 19 punktiem līdz fināla 5 minūtēm? Es varu nocitēt arī to, ko tu man pastāstīji kolēģim sporta centrā, bet...
Nē, kopš tās intervijas viena spēle vēl bijusi. Palielam tas iemesls ir vienkārši treneris nosaka, cik kurš spēlētājs spēlē laukumā. Mēs to esam arī runājuši. Tas šobrīd ir aizsardzības dēļ, bet es domāju, ka var to Freimani izmantot kaut kā labāk. Viņš tomēr ir ļoti jaudīgs uzbrukuma ierocis.
Un tad, man liekas, te ir noslēdzošais jautājums. Man gribētu teikt, ka mums visiem, bet es nezinu, varbūt jūs esat citās domās. Spēlmans vaicā, kā kļūt par krūtu čalu?
Sekojiet Kristiānam, darat visu, ko dara Kristiāns un būsiet krūts čalis.
Mums jau redz gar pavēlu, mums nevar vairs sakot.
Labi, un tad mums vēl ir pāris skatītāji atbildes. Man es zinu, ka man portāla sportcems.com redaktoram Jānim Celmiņam varētu patikt šī atbilde, ka Kaupo raksta, ka Kristaps atgādināšu, ka jautājums bija, kāpēc viņš nespēlēja otrajā puslaikā pret Hornets, un ka viņš palika ģērbtuvēs skatīties raidījumu Eksi ar Žanu Peineru.
Protams, dzīvē, jā.
Vietējais saturs.
Tur panelītika bija tēma tieši.
Jā.
Kristaps paga, Džo, aizmirst, otrais puslaiks nav Džo. Sīrseņi pacēja uz sīrseņi, nē, analītikas.
Mums ir Bērziņš 445, kurš seko ārpolitikas aktualitātēm, raksta, ka Kristaps aizgāja prom otrajā puslaikā, lai paskatītos, vai viņam nav uzlikt tarifi.
Ok.
Tad arī Čaks Norris mums ir atbildējis uz to, ko tu minēji, ka Stīvs Kers ir atlaists, rakstīts, ka atlaid, lai atbrīvot vietu Jurim un Braško. Un tas gan neatbild uz jautājumu, bet jā, tā vietējais saturs raksta, ka muterīti pasauc uz karbonādēm.
Okay.
Inters Krūmiņš raksta, Rodmenam sen atpakaļ piezvanīja Madonna, lai brauc uzstrādāt mazo spēles laikā. Domāju, KP saņēma līdzīgu zvanu no jaunās draudzenes.
Uzstrādāt?
Uzstrādāt, jā.
Šein.
Tā, te mums ir vēl
pāris. Uzstrādājis mazos.
Antonijs Edvards ir uzstrādājis.
te mums ir...
Antonijs mazliet uzstrādājis.
Viņš kaut kādu tur iegājis. Katru mēnesi pa bērnam.
Overstundas paņēmis pamatīgi.
Kā viņš to plāno realizēt dzīvē?
Es domāju, ka tur aliments atskaitīs visur un baigi neiesaistīt.
Mums ir pāris skatītāji, kas nodarbojas ar tādu vārda spēli un saka, ka viņu sadzēla Lapsena. Hornets. Tā.
Bet Lapsena laikam ir Vamp, jā, precīzi.
Bet Sirsens kaut kas.
Jā, ja mēs tā ejam.
Wasp, man liekas.
Wasp.
Jā, bet rekur arī Matīs kā, tā diezgan skarbi. Hornets ir tādi nabagi, ka KP izdomāja aiziet nosnausties.
Es tieši to pašu sākumā teicu.
Tā, kas mums vēl ir?
Man pagaidām favorīts pa tarifiem, vai tas pirmais, kas bija? Pirmais bija pār...
Eksiem?
Jā, pa eksiem ļoti labs. Tomēr Žāns pa analītiku. Čoms runā kāds.
Jurģis Lipskis vēl piedāvā variantu, ka Mersim stāvvietā esot sākus tecēt eļļa. KP ir tās vecmodīgie
mērši. Es zinu, jā. Nē, viņam zina, kas beidzās. Parking, laiks. Viņam viņš bija tikai tīdī gārdinā paņēmis uz otru stundu, viņam atnāca kaut kādā telefonā.
Mobilī nestrādā.
Telefons izslēdzās, vajadzēja iet tos centiņus pamest.
Eku vēl ir labs variants. Vecbērzam meklēja dāvi ģērbtuvēs, jo aizmirst, ka dāvis ir Dubajā. Kā dāvis Hornetos.
Pareizi, jā, ļoti labs arī.
Tā, kas mums vēl ir?
Ejam.
Ir jautājums. Mēs esam mēdījis. Kāpēc mēs nerunājam par aktuālu notikumu Latvijas basketbolā šobrīd?
Pavēr priekškaru.
Izlasēja treneris tiek izskatīts šonedēļ posmā nākošais.
Tu tā atklāji, man liekas, tādu, kā lai pasaka, aizkulis.
Nevar teikt labi.
Es nezinu, vai tas ir kaut kur publiski tā izskanējis. Es vismaz neesmu manījis.
Tad neko.
Bet re, kur ir vēl...
Mēs jau, man liekas, ka nesen te runājām, kaut kāds 2 raidījumus atpakaļ.
Bet, starp citu,
iespējams, bastoja atkal.
Bastoja.
Mums ir, jā, Artūrs nebija starp citu, toreiz, man liekas. Bet mums ir viena tāda melna atbilde.
Nu, smieklīgi vismaz.
Nu, ka pirms spēles dzēra straupis kefīru.
Ok. Zin kā,
moderni.
Tas tā.
Tāds, tāpēc
ka tas tagad
mums
tomēr
bija,
tā baktērija.
mums bija arī vēl viena melna, ko es atļaušos nenolasīt. Un tad ir, atceramies, pagājušu sezonu Kristaps atgriezās no traumas un bija ietvītojis LFG. Un tad tev...
Kas ir?
LDFG, like didn't feel good.
Ok, labi.
Tad, kas mums vēl ir? Jā, tas kas bijis tāls runā ar Kasparu Ciprus, tā kā varbūt aizrunājās par izlasi. Jā, tas laikam arī viss.
Nu, pa ko ņemam? Ņemam Žani un Eksus un analītikas?
Ņemam es kā sportcentrs.com.
Labi, es piekrītu.
Es dodu Eksiem.
Eksi mums konkurence savā ziņā, bet mēs draudzējamies.
Cits formāts.
Mēs formāts cits un sportcentrs mums draugi. Cēlums ar mums draugs ir un Žans arī mums draugs. YouTube mums es draugs.
YouTube lietotājs Kaupo. Pieļauju, ka mēs ar tevi sazināsimies, vai arī uzrakst mums Instagramā, saucamajos DM-os.
Pieļauju. Iespējams, ka arī, kad neviens nesazināsies.
Jo tas vienkārši nebūšu es, kurš sazināsies.
Varbūt arī pie balvas netiks.
Kā Kaupo apsveicam ar 20 eiro dāvanu karti no Sportland, un tā arī mēs varam, principā, noslēgt šo 2,5 stundas gandrīz garo raidījumu. Tā kā atkal teikšu jums paldies, Artūr, paldies, Edgar, ka atradāt laiku.
Kristiāna.
Paldies tev par ideju, jo šis,
Jā, tiešām laba ideja.
Es nezinu, kā skatītājiem patīk, bet no podkāstu runāšanas pieredzes, kaut kas jauns un interesants.
Kaut kas jauns, interesants, sazināties ar citu valsti un interesanti, jā, to.
Man arī no tādas, pašam, kurš ikdienā strādā mēdījos, man liekas, ka viens no tādiem varbūt Latvijas-Igaunijas līgas mīnusiem ir tas, ka trūks kaut kādas tādas kopējās saiknes, piemēram. Es sezonas vidū taisīju ģenerāla menedžera aptāju, un, piemēram, man tos igauņus sadzīt rokā bija nenormāli sarežģīti, lai arī bija visi numuri un viss bija, bet, ka viņi teiks,
neatbild, jā?
Tad neatsaucīgi, jā, diezgan sarežģīti.
Es teiktu, ka atslēgas moments visā pasākumā varētu būt pat pirmā ideja, ko Sīms piedāvāja. Jāatrod ir CEO līgai. Un nevis tikai Latvijas tur vadītājs Salvs un Henrijs no Igaunijas, bet reāli CEO, kurš reportē tam bordam, kurā ir, nezinu, tur Ciprus, Igaunijas kaut kāds šefs, lai ir Salvis. Vai arī klubi bordā. Varbūt, jā, reportē mums. Tur ģenerāls sponsors, cik nauda, kas televīzija, kur ir ādam, kas, tā kā notiek NBA, un viņa darbs ir, viņš ir pilna laika darbs, un darbs ir iegulēt.
Ja tas ir, piemēram, Salvis, tad viņš kļūst tikai par Latvijas-Igaunijas līgas.
Jā, tiešām, un nacionālās līgas atstājam citiem.
Pats, ja ir Henrijs no Igaunijas,
es tur kļūdos, man liekas, sieviešu līgas Līga Goldman administrē un menedžē. Bet jebkurā gadījumā tāpat Salvim darba daudz. Un viņš tiešām palika tikai tās līgas vadītājs. Un man liekas, ka Sāls arī varētu to darīt. Es domāju, ka viņš gribētu to, viņam arī kaut kāda ambīcija ir, kaut kāds redzējums ir, un vienkārši tās cilvēks jāatrod, un viņam jānoliek malā tās lietas. Un tā pavisam cita āršana būtu. Varbūt, ka tad grafiku saliktu, tad mazliet vairāk paterorizēt tos klubus, paterorizēt visādas prasības vēl. Arī būtu tā, ka mēs arī, Sālu, cik tur no tā ģenerāla sponsora, cik vispār no sponsoriem? Tikai 200, piemēram, es saucu. Varbūt vajag 400, lai mēs varam 200 uzlikt prize money. Respektīvi, mēs klubu varētu prasīt, lai, pirmās 3 vietas, lai Ogres Kalēv spēlē arī ir jēga, un lai finālā mēs sitamies, piemēram, ne tikai pa 1. un 2. vietu, bet, pieņemam, uzvarētājiem 100, 2. vietai 50 000. Noderētu mums ekstra 50.
Es domāju, mēs tagad ar Igaunijas puses sadzirdēju kaut kādas šīs idejas, arī no Latvijas puses kāds noteikti noskatīsies. Un, es domāju, varam varbūt pat nenovienoties, bet tīri ideja līmenī varbūt pirms sezonas vēl apspriesties, sarunāt šādu pašu epizodu ar Sīmu un parunāt.
Vai mēs esam dzirdējuši, ka ir jau laiks beigt?
Tieši tāpēc es saku, tāpēc es šo vīrus. Tā kā liels paldies jums vēlreiz un sekojiet līdzi Ūdenszeļļu Instagram kontam.
Skatītāji, ja jūs šo izturējāt 2,5 stundas, tas nozīmē, ka jūs esat īsti Ūdenszeļļu fani. Paldies jums.
Paldies.